10 apartments off Windy Hill Road. That's west of Atlanta Road, where they later found the body of a man inside.
There is some suspicion on criminal activity that prompted the referral of the scene to Smyrna Police Department and the Smyrna Fire Marshal's office.
Smyrna Fire Lieutenant Evan McBrayer says they're still looking for a cause of the fire and whether it was intentionally set. And they're also looking for a cause of death for that victim. Well, you'll need to slow down in Decatur, where the city commission unanimously approves an ordinance to reduce speeds on state roads in the city limits.
Done in coordination with the Georgia DOT, a traffic study identified high-risk corridors where the likelihood of crashes is greater.
Lowering speed limits on these roadways enhances safety for all users, especially people walking or biking.
City Assistant Manager for Public Works, Kara Scherer, says the 5-mile-per-hour reductions are on designated portions of Claremont, Scott Boulevard, College Avenue, Candler Street, and Commerce Drive. GDOT will now update technology and signage to reflect the speed limit changes. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
Speaking of roads, some Buckhead commuters may have to find another way today. The Atlanta DOT says it'll close Moores Mill Road starting this hour between Peachtree Battle and West Wesley for tree removal. Work expected to wrap up around 4 p.m. today. The sidewalks will also be closed. Local residents will be able to use Moores Mill, though, to get home. Could be another big step toward the years-long redevelopment plan for Gwinnett Place Mall.
With the purchase of the 11.5-acre former Sears site, the county will own more than 87 acres as it looks to turn the old mall into a mixed-use activity center that's well-connected, green, and walkable. It'll also include the Gwinnett Place Transit Center. The latest purchase should be finalized late next month. Gwinnett County Chairwoman Nicole Love Hendrickson says we're building incredible momentum toward transforming this site into a hub for catalytic change and opportunity for residents, entrepreneurs, and businesses. Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
And it's a legal win for Philip Morris and some Georgia businesses over FDA rules on cigarette advertising and labeling.
Philip Morris, Georgia-based convenience stores, and a cigarette distribution company allege the FDA's rulemaking process violated the 2009 Family Smoking Prevention and Tobacco Control Act because it failed to disclose raw data of the studies it relied on. And now, Judge Lisa Wood of the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Georgia says that may have created an unfair bias against the cigarette manufacturer. The law made it unlawful to distribute or sell cigarettes without at least one of 9 warnings outlined in the statute. I'm Bloomberg's Denise Pellegrini for 95.5 WSB.
It's 9:03. Mark Arum Show begins in less than 2 minutes, but first live team coverage of traffic and weather. And back to the WSB 24-hour traffic center we go. And Smile on Mark McKay.
Traffic red alert out of Douglas into Cobb Fulton. Before you get to Six Flags, I-20 eastbound is shut down at the Thornton Road exit 44 with a serious injury crash. Delays not quite back to Highway 92 Fairburn Road. Exit there. Go north to Highway 78. Get back on I-20 via Thornton Road. I-20 starting to ease up through the DeKalb work zone. Still difficult, though, as you leave Panola Road heading to I-285. And the downtown delays are still in place, leaving 166 Langford Parkway on the northbound connector and delays out of Buckhead and Brookhaven on 485 feeding down to 17th Street. Latest on 285, Ashley Fresca.
Crowded up from South Cobb Drive on the inner loop, 285 north and east. It does start to break loose past New North Side, Powers Ferry. The worst of the outer loop into DeKalb County is through Doraville, 285 westbound, sluggish leaving I-85, getting past Peachtree Boulevard. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy with an isolated rain shower possible this afternoon, high 84, lows tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, partly to mostly cloudy with scattered rain showers, high 86. Friday, heating up and drying out with a high of 91.
67 degrees right now in Snellville, 65 in Douglasville, 70 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:05. More news at 9:30, breaking news when it happens. I'm Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
Hold on for a minute. I got to verify that it's me so I can open my email. Push alert. Thank you. Welcome to the Mark Arum Show, 9:05 on this gorgeous Wednesday morning. We have a boatload of stuff to talk about today. In just a couple of minutes, we're going to go up to Capitol Hill and monitor what Congress is doing as they head back to work after their 6-week vacation. 30 minutes now. We're going to go live to Mexico City. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is visiting the Mexican president there. We're going to go to Beijing. Massive summit going on. We talked about it yesterday. The China summit, China hosting The leader of Russia, the leader of India, and the leader of North Korea, President Trump, taking to social media, not happy with what's going on there. We got political analyst Stephen Lawson in studio, or joining us live in the 11 o'clock hour with some really big political stories here in Georgia impacting both the Senate and governor races. And it's another 5K day bonus blitz, Deborah. So in about an hour and 5 minutes, I'm going to give you a keyword. Chance for you to win $1,000 here just for listening to the Mark Arum Show. And Deborah, just confirmation, because I already tweeted it out. We have more tickets to give away to see Jim Gaffigan. Is that correct?
You know it. Yep,
yes.
Jim Gaffigan, Atlanta Symphony Hall.
Excellent. So what a great show we have for you today. I do want to start in Capitol Hill, though, because this is, I think, is going to be the big story that we're following throughout the day. Joining us live from ABC, Capitol Hill correspondent Allie Pecorn. Allie, good morning. Lawmakers returned to the Capitol yesterday after that extended recess. I would imagine the two big talking points today on the Hill will be to avoid a government shutdown and possibly the Epstein files.
That's right. So with lawmakers returning to Washington, the big priority for many of them is going to be figuring out some sort of path forward on government funding. If Congress doesn't act to fund the government during this month of session, the government will shut down on October 1st. Now, typically, that's something we see lawmakers on both sides of the aisle trying to avoid. And right now, we're still seeing many of them say they want to avoid a government shutdown. But how exactly that happens, well, that's going to be a little bit thorny. Unlike many of the things that the administration has achieved on Capitol Hill this year, funding the government requires Democratic support. And so this is a moment where many Democrats are weighing, do they want to furnish the votes to advance a funding bill that doesn't align with their priorities, or do they want to really dig in and fight over this? A choice to fight could lead to a government shutdown, but some of them are weighing whether that might be worth it. What we're seeing is Democrats say that they will be furnishing their votes in exchange for things like renewing those cuts to Medicaid that President Trump implemented, or renewing other cuts that the Congress has implemented over the last few months. And so it's going to be a very thorny debate here over the next couple of weeks as they try to figure out a path forward here.
Allie, why does Speaker Johnson need Democratic support? I mean, Republicans still hold the majority.
That's right. So Speaker Johnson actually doesn't need support. He can do it with just his Republican conference. But on the Senate side, you need 60 votes to advance government funding bills. This is due to the Senate filibuster rules. So it's more Senate Democrats that we got to keep an eye on for this storyline as it goes through. Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Allie Pecorn from ABC News joining us on the Mark Arum Show. So obviously that is the big item on the agenda on Capitol Hill is to, fund the government so we don't have a government shutdown. But Epstein files back in the news yesterday. We got a big dump of information. I know it was a lot of stuff, but have you folks at ABC gone through it? And is there anything new in there?
I was part of a group that went through the documents last night, about 30,000 pages of documents, which is a lot, but actually almost all of them have already been made public through other avenues over the many years that this story has been live. So we actually didn't get a whole lot of new information out of that tranche of documents, though I should note it's only a small fraction of everything that the Department of Justice has in its possession related to the Epstein files. And so on Capitol Hill, what we're seeing in the House is a little bit of debate about how to compel those documents to be made public a little bit more quickly. On the one side, we see the House Oversight Committee working really hard to move these documents through. That's the committee that released what we saw last night. On the other, though, there's a small group of Republicans that are trying to force the issue onto the House floor a little bit more publicly, trying to garner support to force a vote on the Department of Justice releasing all of the documents to the Congress and the public. So that's going to be a bit of an issue this week as we move forward, especially today, because a number of Epstein victims are going to be publicly speaking on Capitol Hill.
Yeah. Do we know what time that is going to occur?
There's a press conference later this morning. It's around 10:30.
10:30,
So
okay.
we should be seeing that kind of trickling out pretty soon. Mm-hmm.
So this group that wants further transparency, is that the group headed by Thomas Massie?
That's right. So he is trying to push a vote on the House floor that would require the Department of Justice to release all of those documents to the full public immediately. He's using something that's called a discharge petition in the House, which basically is a way to do an end run around the Speaker of the House and force a bill to the floor that the Speaker is not interested in bringing up. He's going to need at least 6 Republicans to help him do that, assuming that every Democrat is on board. Right now, he's got 4. So we're on our way to seeing that happen. But, sometimes securing those last few votes can be the trickiest work in Congress.
Yeah, and I think one of those four is Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, which is interesting. Obviously a very staunch Trump supporter. Do we think? Final question for you, Allie. I know you have to run. Do we think President Trump is going to maybe issue some not so subtle threats to Republican congressmen and women to not sign on to this Massey-led charge?
Yeah, I think that's certainly a possibility, partially because we've seen President Trump working pretty hard to combat this effort to make those files public. And one of the reasons he says that is because he says there's just not really much to see here, that the Department of Justice has made public the things that need to be seen. And so we've seen this argument from the president and from Speaker Johnson that releasing a lot of these documents is really only hurting the victims that are related to it, that have wanted that anonymity, some of those that are not speaking out publicly about this. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see President Trump continuing to sort of wade into this issue, really sort of winking and encouraging his members not to support this Massey effort.
ABC News congressional reporter Allie Pecorn. Allie, as always, thanks so much for your time. All right, Allie says that press conference is going to begin around 10:30. It might be earlier. So this is going to be a press conference with Epstein and Maxwell victims that I believe have not yet come forward publicly. So these are our new eyewitnesses to what, they had firsthand experience about the dastardly deeds that Epstein and Maxwell purveyed. One of those four Congress people that was on the list that signed on to the Massey was Boebert out of Colorado. She was asked this by Manu Raju yesterday on Capitol Hill.
American people have been demanding answers. I've been demanding answers, and I would like to see what's actually there.
The president's called this a hoax.
And maybe it is. We'll see. But I think that we should have transparency.
Manu Raju talking to Lauren Boebert yesterday. She is one of the four, as is Marjorie Taylor Greene. Again, Thomas Massey, we heard, he's leading this charge for the full transparency. I believe he needs 6 Republicans to side with him to get this moving forward. He's already got 4. Our buddy Jamie Dupree just posted this video. This is Thomas Massey, again, the Republican from Kentucky, says the White House and GOP leaders are leaning on Republicans to oppose his bill to release the Epstein file documents. See if we can get Jamie's audio here.
Are they doing oppression? Why are they doing that? Why do they? Because they don't want the files released. Look, if my legislation were redundant, why would the White House be trying to stop it? It's not redundant. There are things that the White House doesn't want out there that my legislation would cause to be released, and that even the White House doesn't believe that the Oversight Committee has released everything.
So there you go. Thomas Massey yesterday. That was our buddy Jamie Dupree, Washington correspondent, posted that video. Massey, strong words for Massey yesterday from Speaker Johnson. Said, basically, I'm ignoring anything Massey says. He has no power, no leg to stand on this, but he's already gotten 4 GOP congressmen and women to sign on to this. He just needs 2 to push this forward. Again, there was a massive data dump yesterday regarding the Epstein files, but as you heard from Allie Pecorn, most of that stuff has already been in the public eye. It's going to be curious to see how powerful these new witnesses are going to be when they have that press conference. Again, it's scheduled for 10:30, but I think it might pop a little bit earlier. We'll monitor that. Again, President Trump saying this is a Democratic hoax, and Lauren Boebert saying, well, we'll see if it's a hoax. But the word hoax is a difficult word to use here. Now, he says this is a Democratic scheme to, sow discord or whatever, or throw him under the bus. But, I mean, it's not a hoax that Maxwell and Epstein were horrible people, and they abused underage girls. Like, that is not a hoax, right? That's been proven. Maxwell's in jail because of it. Epstein was charged because of it. So I think he needs to watch the word hoax when it comes to what Maxwell and Epstein did, because that's verifiable. I mean, there are dozens of witnesses that can testify that they were abused by that sick couple. So, I would couch the phrase hoax a little bit differently if I were the president and say, maybe I don't even know. I wouldn't even use the word hoax. Again, I'm for full transparency. We'll see if this works, and we'll see if the testimony today from witnesses that we've never heard from before moves the needle politically at all, and see if Massey can get additional votes on that. But obviously, a very big story, and I don't think it's going away anytime soon. The only way it's going to go away is if they just release everything they have. That's it. Sunshine is the best disinfectant. All right, still to come in less than an hour, I'm going to give you an update on a 5K day bonus blitz, another chance for you to $1,000. Listen to WSB Radio. When we come back, though, big summit going on in China with China, Russia, North Korea, India. Are we seeing a new axis develop there in this China summit? We'll go to Beijing after we check what has been a horrible Wednesday morning ride. Live with the latest, here's Mike Shields.
And Mark, it stays that way, unfortunately, in Lithia Springs on the West Freeway. Live look at the jam cam. All lanes remain blocked. An hour later after this crash involving several vehicles, I-20 eastbound at Thornton Road, all lanes are blocked. Delays start back at Highway 92 Fairburn Road. That is 7 miles of standstill traffic. Now, I'm looking at the jam cam. They are backing up tow trucks right now and wreckers trying to load up these vehicles involved and clear this, but no timetable when they can completely do this and get lanes reopened. So if this is your commute out of Douglasville into Lithia Springs, use Highway 78, Veterans Memorial Highway, as an alternate. This support is brought to you by Peach Pass. Life doesn't slow down, and neither can you. With Peach Pass, save time, cruise by traffic, and use your Peach Pass in 20 states, including Georgia. Visit peachpass.com and keep moving. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
Everyone has an opinion.
We have become an idiotic nation that doesn't know how to even debate anything, so it doesn't surprise me.
Eric Von Hessler has an opinion.
You will still age.
And some advice.
Start doing things when you're younger. Drink a lot of water.
Eric Von Hessler, today at 3.
And you will still die.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Join Findlay Roofing this weekend at the Fall Atlanta Home Show at the Cobb Galleria Center. Dave Baker here. Stop by the Findlay Roofing booth and say roof, roof during our live broadcast of the Home Fix-It Show Saturday morning. More info at fallatlantahomeshow.com. Roof, roof.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now a new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place. You know, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in, will work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on portfolio x-ray, or click on full retirement plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Critters creeping? Better call Breda Pest Management. They handle bugs and critters. And Breda is proud to sponsor Scott Slade, Georgia, every Thursday on Atlanta's Morning News.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. Looking for a more natural way to sleep? Our orthopedic natural mattresses combine our legendary quality with nature's finest materials. We hand build each mattress using renewable materials like cotton, wool, and natural latex, creating a luxury sleep experience that's as good for the planet as it is for you. Visit one of our showrooms to try them out in person, or visit originalmattress.com to learn more. The Original Mattress Factory. Sleep better, naturally.
Nobody likes a dingy smell. I mean, have you ever seen a candle with the scent dingy? I didn't think so. So avoid that dingy smell with help from the air duct cleaning experts at Zerorez. When dirt, dust, and allergens collect in your ducts, your air starts to stink. But Zerorez is a breath of fresh air. Plus, right now, if you mention WSB, you get up to $75 off your next duct cleaning. Schedule online at ZerorezAtlanta.com and ask about our commercial cleaning too. Zerorez, spell it backwards or forwards, it's the right way to clean.
The British ambassador in Berlin handed the German government a final note, stating that unless we heard from them by 11 o'clock, a state of war would exist between us.
If you take anything away from today's show, you can now say, you know what former British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain sounded like. That was him 86 years ago on WSB Radio, September 3rd, 1939, 2 days after the Nazis invaded Poland, setting into the motion the start of World War II. That was the British Prime Minister announcing Britain was declaring war on Germany. That's the first time I've ever heard Neville Chamberlain's voice, so there you go. At least you got something out of the show today. Why did I play that coming up? Because I mentioned, might we see a new setup of an Axis agreement going on in relation to the Russia-Ukraine war. The big China summit going on right now. Show of military strength by China, joined by Vladimir Putin, Kim Jong-un. Let's go to Mark Stewart, CNN correspondent in Beijing. Mark, what's going on here? Is it symbolism or is it something more?
I think you could say it's all of the above. You know, for weeks we've been watching dress rehearsals for this big event here in Beijing. And this parade that we saw today very much will be a historical marker in the years to come as China really does try to establish itself as this leader of what's often described as a new world order, an alternative to these traditional alliances that we see from the West. There was nothing subtle about this. This was ripe with symbolism. Right away, we saw soldiers marching in the streets, and then, as you alluded to, this very big display of China's military force and its potential military force, really showing off its prowess when it comes to technology and nuclear capability. One set of weaponry that's been getting a lot of attention are laser-inspired weapons that can be used from the air or even mounted on a warship. Lasers that would send a microwave signal to disable a potential target. That's the way it's being described by Chinese state media. Obviously, this spectacle is getting reaction from around the world. That includes President Trump from the White House, who did put a post on Truth Social. Let me read to you part of that posting. It says in part, "Please give my warmest regards to Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un as you conspire against the United States of America." Obviously, the picture of Putin, Kim, and Xi together is very notable. We did hear from the Kremlin spokesperson, Dmitry Peskov, and who said, quote, "No one is plotting any conspiracies," and that he hoped that President Trump's statement was meant figuratively and not literally. perhaps we will hear more from the White House as the day moves forward. As you mentioned, John, there was a meeting between Kim Jong-un and Vladimir Putin. These two men now have a stronger relationship in the sense that North Korea has been providing troops for Russia in its war in Ukraine. We know Putin invited Kim to Ukraine. The one meeting that we have not seen happen, that those of us who cover China are very curious to see, will there be a meeting between Kim and Xi Jinping? At this point, to our knowledge, that has still not happened, but it's something we're going to be watching in the hours ahead, in particular because of the fact that Kim Jong-un made such a determined effort to get here. He rarely makes out-of-country visits, and he took this armored train all the way from North Korea here to China. John, there are other events planned. There's a big banquet, a big gala taking place tonight. We'll be anxious to see if we hear any more insight from that as the night moves forward.
Mark Stewart in Beijing this morning, where it's evening there in Beijing. The military parade, Deborah, I saw a video of it, was pretty impressive. At 10,000 soldiers, all this military might on display as they... the whole purpose of the summit was to celebrate the 80th anniversary of the ending of World War II.
Yep.
But Mark mentioned there, and we've covered it, North Korean troops have been helping Russia in the Russia-Ukraine war. Could there be a possibility, and I'm not wishing this into existence, as the relationship between Xi and Putin warms, is there a chance that China provides soldiers for Russia in there? Like, that would be a massive, massive game changer and would certainly escalate. I'm not saying that is being reported, but I'm just thinking if they, continue this buddy-buddy relationship, we've already seen Putin use North Korean troops. What would prevent him from using Chinese troops in his battle against the Ukrainian army? Crazy, crazy stuff. All right, there was Beijing. When we come back, we're going to go down to Mexico City. Secretary of State Marco Rubio visiting the Mexican president. Live update from Mexico next on The Mark Arum Show.
Attention antique lovers, this weekend it's the Lakewood 400 Antique Market, located north of Atlanta on Georgia Highway 9, 2 miles south of Cumming. Visit their website at lakewoodantiques.com for more information. This weekend, don't miss the Lakewood 400 Antique Market.
Just a word of wisdom from your friend Mark Arum. A damaged roof doesn't always lead to an entire roof replacement project. As a full-service Atlanta roofing company, my friends at Dr. Roof offer comprehensive roof repairs that will lengthen the lifespan of your existing roof and ensure that it will continue to protect your home as it should. It's storm season. Get peace of mind from my friends at Dr. Roof. They've been in business for over 35 years, and Dr. Roof offers up to a 5-year warranty on roof repairs. Get all the info online at drroof.com.
Attention men, does ED and PE have you down? Well, great news. Choice Men's Health has the latest breakthrough treatments that can get you up and running. Meet the specialist who is dedicated to helping you perform better than ever in the bedroom.
Hi, I'm Dr. Katz, Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Our custom treatment plans have a 98% success rate at improving ED and PE on your very first visit, even if Viagra and Cialis have failed. Regardless of your age and medical history, we are here and dedicated to help you regain your love life.
Don't wait. Call Choice Men's Health now. We are so confident we can help. For a limited time, we're offering to cover your first treatment for free. Call 404-400-1170. Call now to claim your free treatment. 404-400-1170. Results guaranteed on your first visit or it's free. 404-400-1170. Choice Men's Health, the only choice for your health.
If you've ever organized your closet only to have it look like a bomb went off in there 1 month later, then it's time to call Artisan Custom Closets. Dave Baker here with a custom spacious closet from Artisan. You'll never have to deal with all that clutter again. ArtisanCustomClosets.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News, weather,
Traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 9:30. I'm Judd Hickenbotham. News this half hour brought to you by Dr. Roof, and our top story, an ongoing red alert on the west side of town, really slowing down the commute as drivers try to make their way through Lithia Springs this morning. Now, watching it on the WSB 24-hour traffic center, what are you seeing, Mike Shields?
And Judd, seeing a lot of movement on the jam cam. That's good news as heavy-duty tow trucks loading up vehicles involved with this crash, but right now all lanes remain blocked. I-20 eastbound right at Thornton Road exit 44. Standstill traffic back before Highway 92, Fairburn Road exit 37. So that's over 7 miles of traffic not moving. If this is your commute out of Douglasville into Lithia Springs this morning, the best alternate is Highway 78, Veterans Memorial Highway. That will save you time this morning. No timetable when they can get lanes reopened. Of course, we'll continue to follow this, and I'll have another update coming up in the next few minutes.
Boy, 7 miles. Thank you very much, Mike. All right, it is currently 71 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says temperature will get back into the mid-80s for your Wednesday. Mix of clouds and sun. Chance of rain this afternoon. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. A Smyrna apartment fire is quickly contained, but a criminal investigation is just beginning this morning.
A report of smoke brought Smyrna fire to the Bella 810 Apartments off Windy Hill Road at Ward Street. Crews were able to quickly extinguish the blaze, but they also found a deceased adult inside the apartment.
Firefighters backed out, turned the scene over to Smyrna Police and Smyrna Fire Marshal's office for investigation.
Lieutenant Evan McBrayer says investigators are looking at possible criminal activity being involved, but did not say whether the death itself is suspicious or whether the fire appears to have been intentionally set. The fire marshal is now reviewing the case. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
More jobs are headed to Alpharetta, which is celebrating the expansion of Equifax campus and the Windward Concourse. 250 new positions expected over the next 3 years. That's according to Director of Economic Development Charlie Jewell, who says Alpharetta is proving to be the tech city of the South.
It is very attractive to talent, and that's attractive to companies because they know if they expand here, the likelihood that they're going to be able to find the talent that they need is going to be increased.
Yeah, Equifax is spending $25 million to convert some of its data center space to create the company's largest office space anywhere. Getting more information this morning out of the thousands of pages of released Justice Department documents into sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. Correspondent Scott McFarland says a missing cell block video shoots down a lot of conspiracies about Epstein's death.
Missing minute of security video or surveillance video from the day Epstein died that has fueled rumors that he didn't die by suicide, that there was some other cause. CBS News reported weeks ago that there was no missing minute, that the video existed, that there was some reason that exists that it wasn't released.
He says it's now been released and shows nothing spectacular. The political fight continues into releasing all of those documents. And a new nationwide study asks the question, what is the most terrifying natural disaster? Top answer? A tornado, which ranks higher than other major scares like tsunamis, earthquakes, and hurricanes. And the fear of tornadoes spans all across the country. The average American actually will face 4 natural disasters in their lifetime, and while younger generations are more likely to have disaster plans, according to the study, many baby boomers admit they'll just wing it. Just try to stay safe. It is 9:33 as we check your money. Mixed bag on Wall Street. The Dow opening down this morning. S&P is up. NASDAQ is up right now. More than 150 points. Now live team coverage of traffic and weather. We start the WSB 24-hour traffic center and back to Mike Shields.
And Judd, still watching this red alert in effect in Lithia Springs. All lanes remain shut down with violent crash. Several vehicles involved. I-20 eastbound at Thornton Road, exit 44. Live look at the jam cam. Heavy-duty wreckers trying to clear this up. Tow trucks on scene as well, loading up vehicles involved. But right now, no timetable when lanes will reopen. Standstill traffic almost 7 miles back, starting around Arbor Place Mall. So between Arbor Place Mall and Thornton Road, traffic not moving on I-20 eastbound. Use Highway 78, Veterans Memorial Highway, as an alternate between Douglasville and Lithia Springs. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. A mix of sun and clouds today. An isolated rain shower can't be ruled out. High 84. Lows tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, partly to mostly cloudy with scattered rain showers. High 86. Drying out and heating up on Friday. High 91.
68 degrees in Roswell, 69 in McDonough, 71 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:34. More news at 10. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Jed Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
If it's happening on the streets of Atlanta.
After suspect refuses to exit home on Summer Chase Drive.
If it's happening on the roads leading to Atlanta.
Looks to be a tanker truck crashed into the median on the jam cam.
95.5 WSB has you covered.
The major culprits squeezing household budgets for auto insurance, gasoline, and utilities.
Your 24/7 news source. Tune in throughout the day to stay up to date.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
Everybody wants to know who some of the people were that were on the island. They want to know, was the government involved?
That's Republican Kentucky Representative James Comer. Still to come, the latest on the Epstein files. But next, Secretary of State Rubio visiting Mexico. What's on the agenda? We go live to Mexico City in 2 minutes on the Mark Arum Show.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm.
For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before, protecting America, fighting for you. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
We're all getting long in the tooth, friends. Am I right? What about your heating and cooling systems? Are they aging? Well, let Reliable Heating and Air protect your AC from breakdowns and your budget, just $14.99 a month. Reliable Heating and Air, licensed, bonded, and insured. Amazing service. I can tell you firsthand, Reliable is the best. They're licensed, bonded, and insured. No deductibles, no claims or paperwork, no service fees, just amazing coverage for as low as $14.99 a month, and next day installation guaranteed, or they pay you $500. So protect your aging heating and cooling system with the amazing folks at Reliable Heating and Air. Just $14.99 a month gives you amazing peace of mind. Get all the info and schedule a consultation online at reliableair.com. That's reliableair.com. Don't wait until your aging systems go kaput. Get your protection now at reliableair.com.
Skip the hassles of a traditional home sale and sell your home quickly with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. There's no showings, no open houses, and no stress. Hi, this is Mark Spain, and our guaranteed offer is the easiest way to sell your home. With the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, you can bypass the market, receive the strongest all-cash offer in the industry, and close in as little as 21 days. Our guaranteed offer keeps you in control. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
9:37 on this very busy news day, Wednesday. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show, going straight live to Mexico City. Joining us from CBS News, Adrienne Bard. Adrienne, good morning. As always, thanks for your time.
Hey, good morning to you guys up there.
U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio scheduled to visit with the Mexican president today. Do we know what's on the agenda?
Yeah, the agenda is going to focus on drug trafficking, on fentanyl, and to some extent migration up to the U.S., illegal immigration. But really the focus here, at least from Mexico's perspective, will be on security and drug issues.
Now, the Mexican president, Sheinbaum, has kept a pretty good relationship going with President Trump despite the ongoing tariff battles. What is she looking to gain out of this meeting?
Well, she has, and she's been widely recognized for that. But I think, she's hoping that the U.S. and Mexico can work together as partners, as close allies, and not having the U.S. coming into Mexico and bombing and carrying out raids against drug cartels. I think the feeling that she has expressed, that here the breaking point is the violation of Mexico's sovereignty. But otherwise, I'm hoping that there'll be an agreement. There's supposed to be an agreement coming out of this meeting on continuing cooperation between the two countries against the drug cartels.
Yeah, President Trump recently said, Adrienne, that there are 0 illegal immigrants now crossing the southern border in his second term. So I would think that is an issue that has, at least from President Trump's perspective, has been resolved. But the lingering issue is the cartels, right, and the amount of drugs that are coming from Mexico into the United States.
Well, it is, but as the Mexican president just said 2 days ago in their first State of the Union, this issue has to be approached as a shared responsibility. Now, we've been hearing that for years. What does that mean? It means that Mexico really wants the United States to do more to work on the problem of addiction. Let's say the pull factor of people wanting to buy drugs and encouraging the cartels. And then the other big issue are the weapons, because I think as is widely known now, the cartels use guns and high-powered weapons all come in from the United States. There are no guns sold, at least not in a retail space here in Mexico.
Interesting. Adrienne Bard, CBS News, live in Mexico City, here on the Mark Arum Show. Speaking of, just the average Mexican citizen, what do they think about the current relationship between Mexico and the United States?
Well, I think people feel she's been handling President Trump on a personal level pretty well. I think I've seen some polls where people agree, maybe 56, close to 60% of the people agree with her handling. But, you know, in Mexico, there's a long-standing relationship between these two countries. The ties are much more than just security issue or drugs or fentanyl. Mexico is the number one trading partner in the U.S., and I think that most people in Mexico really feel the close ties between these two countries, and many people here do have family in the United States, whether close relatives or distant relatives. So the ties go pretty deep.
Interesting. You mentioned, massive trade partners. Do we know what the current tariff situation is between the United States and Mexico?
Yes, everything that's under the USMCA trade agreement between the U.S., that's Mexico and Canada, has no tariffs. But there are tariffs on significant tariffs on things that are outside of that, which I don't want to get it wrong, but things in the auto industry. And right now, also steel is an issue because Mexico buys U.S. steel, so I think there's a trade surplus there. But yeah, Mexico generally is boasting to have the lowest tariffs in the world overall.
Interesting. Final quick question for you, Adrian. Do you know if the Secretary of State and the President of Mexico are going to have a joint press conference at some point today?
Actually, the Secretary of State Rubio's press conference will be with Mexico's foreign minister. There will not be a joint press conference with President Sheinbaum, and I think that's because his counterpart here would be the foreign minister, and we're expecting that later today, maybe around 12 noon Eastern, that they'll be answering questions to the press about what was achieved and this understanding or agreement that may or may not be signed today.
We'll be monitoring. Adrian Bard, CBS. Always great to have you on, Adrian. Thanks so much.
Thanks to you guys. Bye-bye.
There you go. All right, so the joint press conference will be with the foreign minister of Mexico and not the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio. But he is the first Latin American Secretary of State. He has already visited a couple of Latin American countries, but this is his first time as Secretary of State going to Mexico. So definitely a big deal there and a story worth following. So we've got that at noon, Deborah. We've got, we think, coming up at 10:30, a press conference on Capitol Hill with survivors of Epstein and Maxwell. So two big things we're going to be following there. Big local story, Appalachia High update. Again, I believe tomorrow is the one-year anniversary of that horrific school shooting at Appalachia High. The school will be open tomorrow. But there's an update, Deborah, regarding the court case of the two suspects that have been charged.
Yeah, the father of the suspected Appalachia High School shooter has been denied a motion to suppress some court documents. Now, Colin Gray, that's the father, he had filed all these motions to suppress certain evidence. He claims that the statements weren't given voluntarily. He said officers searched his home without a warrant. But the Barrow County Superior Court judge has denied those motions, although they will be filed under a seal. Interesting. So basically a court loss for the father of the shooting suspect. Again, I mean, the whole, once this, do you know when the trial is supposed to start? Does it say? I don't have a date on that. I'll see if I can find one. Like that is because that, I mean, we saw a similar story, I believe in Colorado, where a parent was charged with, with murder because the kids got the weapons from them. That was a groundbreaking case. But I really think when this trial starts, it's going to grab the whole nation's attention. Like, is this going to be codified in basically in law going forward that parents could be liable for the actions of their children? Now, I don't think it's going to be applicable in the horrific Catholic school shooting in Minneapolis because that suspect was he 25, 20, something like that. Adult, like he wasn't living with his parents, so and the parents lived in Florida, so I don't think it's applicable there. But obviously a horrible story, but it's going to be an important case. I think you're going to see like Court TV down here and Fox News and CNN. They're going to be covering that because that would add additional precedent to for future crimes and convictions that the parents could be held liable. Like, it's not tough enough being a parent already.
You got to deal with that stuff. All right, so thank you for that update, Deborah. All right, reminder, 10-12-ish. I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K day bonus splits. Another chance for you to win $1,000 here on 95.5 WSB. And 11:37, I am ineligible for these tickets, but I really want it because it's on my anniversary. We're going to be giving away a pair of tickets to see Jim Gaffigan. Famously hilarious dude. So 2 chances to win really cool prizes. I don't know. Like, what's the price on those Gaffigan tickets? They can't be cheap, right? I wonder if it's a similar prize, like $1,000 cash or 2 Gaffigan tickets. Like, depending on the tickets, anyway. 2 chances to win amazing prizes here on 95.5 WSB. When we come back, is Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson still the world's busiest airport? We got some new data to share with you after we check in. Absolutely rough morning drive. Wreckers everywhere, Mike Shields.
That's right, tow trucks, wreckers all on scene here, Mark. I-20 eastbound, Thornton Road, exit 44. This red alert that's been in effect, this crash shutting down all lanes now for almost 2 hours. I-20 eastbound at Thornton Road. Standstill traffic starts 8 miles back at Chapel Hill Road, exit 36 and Arbor Place Mall. If this is your commute out of Douglasville into Lithia Springs, use Highway 78 Veterans Memorial Highway as an alternate. I am watching the jam cam, and they are making progress loading up vehicles, but right now all lanes remain blocked. This report is brought to you by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy button is back, even with more easy. Press it for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Staples, that was easy. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
All right, thank you.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
Oh my word!
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app. The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Your next chance to win is at 10 a.m.
2 houses, same neighborhood, nearly identical. But one had an orchard sign, and it sold for way more. So what happened? Well, the first homeowner used a traditional agent, and after weeks of sitting on the market, price drops, and mounting frustration, they settled for less than they'd hoped for. The second homeowner chose Orchard. Their local orchard agent didn't just list the home, they knew how to market it properly. They knew which upgrades would attract serious buyers, brought in pros to handle the prep, and positioned the home to sell for top dollar. And thanks to Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, that homeowner moved into their new place before the old one even hit the market. No showings, no disruptions, no living in limbo. That's the difference. Never settle for less. Get more with Orchard. Start with a free home valuation at orchard.com. That's orchard.com.
My name is Maria. Okay, I lied. It's Mary. But I'm feeling more European after my European-style holiday on MSC Cruises. The ristoranti, I mean restaurants, nightlife and shops in La Galleria. And of course, American touches, like a sports bar and water slides. Ah, bellissimo. Okay, this is a problem.
Book now and save up to 40% off, plus kids sail free. MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
Join Findlay Roofing this weekend at the Fall Atlanta Home Show at the Cobb Galleria Center. Dave Baker here. Stop by the Findlay Roofing booth and say roof, roof during our live broadcast of the Home Fix-It Show Saturday morning. More info at fallatlantahomeshow.com. Roof, roof.
All Care is expert urgent care and primary care under a single roof, offering convenience and continuity for your healthcare needs. All Care is a proud member of Piedmont Clinic with a team of physicians and clinicians who know you and your medical history so they can provide the personalized care you deserve. And with both family and immediate care services offered 7 days a week at 15 Atlanta area locations, All Care also means saying goodbye to waiting days and days to see the doctor. Same-day appointments are available and walk-ins are welcomed. Remember, urgent care plus primary care equals All Care.
At the Original Mattress Factory, you'll often hear us say we can't fit our quality in a box. Our customers feel the same way. Here's what an actual OMF customer had to say.
I recently purchased a bed-in-a-box mattress and returned it a month later. I replaced it with a bed from the Original Mattress Factory, and I am beyond thrilled. Don't bother with any of the online mattress brands. Go to OMF and you'll be in great hands. My only regret is not going there sooner.
Come see our quality firsthand at the Original Mattress Factory.
Protect your turf from termites. Call Breda Pest Management. They handle bugs and critters. And Breda's proud to sponsor Scott Slade's Georgia every Thursday on Atlanta's Morning News.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
You know, a lot of times you have to choose between something high quality or something that saves you money. But what if you could get both? Why not? Especially when it comes to health care, and that is Medi-Share. You get both. Many families save $500 a month with Medi-Share, and that's huge, but it's also true that people wind up way more satisfied, too. And we know this from research of members. There's a lot they like about Medi-Share, but especially they love being part of something they believe in. And Medi-Share works, too. It has for more than 30 years. There are hundreds of thousands of members who love having telehealth if they need it. They love the huge PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or you're part of the gig economy or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price in 2 minutes. Here's the number. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
47 years ago today, in an outdoor ceremony in St. Peter's Square, Pope John Paul I was officially installed. Deborah, you know this. The Pope died just 25 days later.
Yep.
Is that the shortest papacy? I know this isn't.
I'd have to go and look at through all of history.
Yeah, that's. Do we? I mean, I was 4, so I don't remember that at all. I remember the next Pope, who was, the Pope for most of my. Do we know why he died?
Again, I'd have to go look at all my Pope history.
All right, catechism class here on the Mark Arum Show. Deborah, I just got back from the world's busiest airport. I think Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson had a great experience as always. New data is in. Is Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson still the world's busiest airport?
Hartsfield-Jackson crowned busiest airport in the world one more time. About 5.1 million people traveled through this past year, which is actually down 2% of last year. Number 2, Dubai, and then it goes Dallas-Fort Worth, London Heathrow.
Oh.
Is it Haneda?
Haneda.
Haneda, Tokyo, and then Denver, Istanbul, and Los Angeles.
So I knew, what was number 2 on the list?
Dubai.
I knew they were catching up, right? And there was like, but where's Chicago's O'Hare? Was it they?
Not even in this top 5 or 6 here. They're like number 7 or 8.
It's
they got 2 airports.
Yeah, O'Hare and Midway. And it's probably because my 2 flights to and from O'Hare were canceled that one time because of. Did you hear that little egg burp right there?
I did. Yeah.
That was brought to you by Whataburgers, breakfast on a bun. Sorry about that. That was disgusting and gross. I apologize. Again, I flew to Connecticut this weekend to see my folks, and I was at Bradley International Airport. Deborah, do you have you signed up for Clear and PreCheck and all that stuff yet?
No, I don't get to fly. I drive more than anything, so I haven't signed up for that yet.
So I signed up for Clear a couple years ago, and it saved my tush a couple times. But I haven't signed up for PreCheck yet. Maya made me an appointment to do it. And I didn't forget about the appointment, but I thought I couldn't find my current passport.
Oh.
But I did. I just thought it was the expired one. I'm like, I can't make anyway, that was like 9 months ago. And she's been getting on my rear end about getting PreCheck because she has it. And we're at Bradley International this weekend, and they were signing you up for PreCheck in the terminal because otherwise you had to go somewhere and do an interview, whatever. And bing, bang, boom. And you'll be happy to know, guys. So this was Monday morning. I went through the thing and gave my driver's license and answered some questions. And I got a text message that says I've passed the background check. And so I have nothing. You don't have to worry about working with me. Like I'm not a kingpin.
I was worried.
Yeah. And so I'm now officially on PreCheck. It was great. It took like 4 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. Good job. All right, this story not so phenomenal. I'm going to let Deborah tell you this story because I'm embarrassed. FEMA, right, it's been in the news. Folks critical of FEMA, their response in the North Carolina storms and whatever. There's a remap of FEMA. This has nothing to do with any of that. 2 FEMA workers lose their job, not because they didn't provide proper assistance to those in need. They got fired for what, Deborah?
2 female workers were fired for deviant porn habits. That is how it's listed here. An investigation, they did this internal investigation of all female workers, and they specifically pointed out to these 2 employees that have been using their government-issued devices. So, like we have our station laptops, right?
Yes.
Basically, they're given these work computers, and they found significant amounts of porn on these machines, and very specific stuff. I don't need to go into what kind of it was.
But, I mean, they said deviant.
Deviant,
Isn't
not
that
not
in
just
the
porn habits, deviant porn habits.
Deviant to me might not be.
Who deems it deviant?
Deviant to Vinny, right? I mean,
well,
I guess.
Can I say that there's like animals involved?
Oh, no, you can't.
See.
All right, yeah, that's all right. We're all in agreement there. Yeah, not like a foot fetish.
No.
All right, now just so I'm losing my hearing. Did you say these were 2 female employees?
No, just FEMA.
Oh, okay,
Doesn't
FEMA.
say it doesn't identify their name, if they're male or female or non-binary.
Yeah,
I heard female.
So they're not female.
No.
They're just.
No.
I mean, that's just.
They're just
dumb.
deviant.
Dumb. I didn't even know that's a thing you could find.
Don't go look it up, everybody.
No.
Especially not on the work computer.
No, exactly. I've got a work phone, a work computer.
Yeah, and we have to look up some pretty weird stuff.
Yeah, Alex Shapiro's got a chip in my brain, head of security, so I think deviant thoughts and he gets alerted. All right, that's dastardly. Yeah. All right, not female, FEMA.
No,
2
FEMA.
FEMA employees arrested for looking at deviant pornography on a work computer. I'll just leave it at that. Is Sabrina going to continue our team coverage of the FEMA? No, she says she's not going to talk about that. When we come back, though, after news, weather, and traffic, around, again, 10:12, I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K a day bonus blitz. Really want you to win $1,000 in just a couple of minutes here. And $1,000 would help in retirement. We've got some new data in on what Americans think about their retirement and how or when it could happen. And it's not a rosy picture what the average American thinks about their possible retirement. We'll dig deep into the data when we come back next on The Mark Arum Show.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
Those wire shelves in your closet are just a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. Dave Baker for Artisan Custom Closets. At Artisan, we see it all the time. The wire shelves come crashing down. Clothes, shoes, bags are everywhere. It's a disaster zone. Save yourself before this happens to you. With a custom, spacious closet from Artisan, you'll never have to look at that clutter again. Your shoes, bags, clothes, accessories, all neatly organized and designed to stay that way. ArtisanCustomClosets.com.
Hey folks, it's Belinda. What you have planned this weekend? How about visiting the Lakewood 400 Antiques Market in Cumming, Friday through Sunday this weekend? Grab your spouse or your friends and go on a treasure hunt with over 500 booths. Everything you can imagine, from jewelry, collectibles, sports memorabilia, antiques, furniture, handcrafts, and toys. Every aisle and row is a different adventure. Come on out this weekend to the Lakewood 400 Antiques Market, 1321 Atlanta Highway in Cumming. Visit LakewoodAntiques.com.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hi there, good morning. It is 10 o'clock. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by TE Certified Electrical, Plumbing, Heating, and Air. We're going to start with this. I-20 in Douglas County shut down. Mark McKay in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Been shut down now for about an hour, 45 minutes, Sabrina, with a bad crash. The cleanup operation continues, and no lanes are getting by. I-20 eastbound shut down right at the Thornton Road exit 44. Those delays continue all the way back into Douglasville near the Chapel Hill Road exit. Highway 78 has filled up as an alternate, but that's better than sitting in the parking lot that has become I-20 between Douglasville and Lithia Springs. Sabrina?
All right, thanks, Mark. Your weather for today, partly cloudy. Isolated rain showers are possible. Afternoon highs around 84, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in just over 2 minutes. A Smyrna apartment fire is quickly contained, but it's what was found inside that unit that has prompted now a criminal investigation.
A report of smoke brought Smyrna fire to the Bella 810 apartments off Windy Hill Road at Ward Street. Crews were able to quickly extinguish the blaze, but they also found a deceased adult inside the apartment.
Firefighters backed out, turned the scene over to Smyrna Police and Smyrna Fire Marshal's office for investigation.
Lieutenant Evan McBrayer says investigators are looking at possible criminal activity being involved, but did not say whether the death itself is suspicious or whether the fire appears to have been intentionally set. The fire marshal is now reviewing the case. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
If your drive takes you through Decatur, watch your speed. Changes are coming to sections of state routes within the city limits there. This includes major arteries like Scott Boulevard, Claremont Road, Candler Street, College Avenue, and Commerce Drive. The 5-mile-per-hour reduction in speed will have several benefits, according to Kara Scherer with Public Works.
Reducing stopping distances, improving driver reaction times, and increasing the survivability of crashes.
And she says the city will now be working with GDOT to make some technology changes, also updating the signs to reflect the new speed limits. In DeKalb County, they've become the first county here in Georgia to allocate money towards reproductive health care. The county's approved $200,000 to organizations who will be providing residents with comprehensive reproduction care and access to Plan B.
The important thing for us is to ensure that there are prenatal and postnatal care for expecting mothers and postpartum, because we do see a very high maternal mortality rates.
And DeKalb County Commissioner Ted Terry says the money should be available soon. He says there are potentially some 10,000 women in the county who could be eligible for the services. Some upgrades are coming to Dobbins Air Reserve Base. Senator John Ossoff saying he recently introduced a bipartisan amendment as part of a funding bill that will encourage upgrades to the base's C-130 fleet,
which will make them safer and more effective and better able to do their vital work, their heroic work defending the nation.
And the amendment pushes for upgrades to the C-130J models, which are made by Lockheed Martin in Marietta. The Secret Service counters sniper team is facing a, quote, chronic understaffing. That, according to a report from Homeland Security, the team is staffed 73% below the level necessary to meet mission requirements. And Equifax planning a big expansion in Alpharetta, bringing nearly 250 new jobs over the next 3 years. The city's Director of Economic Development, Charlie Jewell, telling us.
But to have a Fortune 500 company, not only have a presence here, but continue to invest in the city, and we're just very grateful to have corporate partners like that.
He says Equifax will invest some $25 million in expanding its Windward Concourse campus, and with that, Alpharetta becomes home to the company's largest office space. As we take a look at the markets, the Dow is in negative territory right now. NASDAQ and S&P are in the green. Time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Let's go back to Smile and Mark McKay, see if we have any improvements on the roads.
Still have not opened I-20 eastbound, Sabrina, coming up on the 2-hour mark. I-20 eastbound has been shut down with a bad crash and subsequent cleanup at Thornton Road. I-20 east at exit 44. 8 miles of backed up traffic now back toward Chapel Hill Road. Highway 78 feeling the pressure as an alternate between Douglasville and Lithia Springs. Traffic Trooper Lee told us about this crash in the east side perimeter. We have it on the jam cam. It's a rollover crash. 3 left lanes are knocked out on 285 northbound, the outer loop at the Snow Mountain Freeway exit 39. Heavy back toward Covington Highway. Don't make the mistake. Out of Stonecrest and Lithonia, continue I-20 west into downtown. Smile Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy with an isolated rain shower possible this afternoon. High 84, lows tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, partly to mostly cloudy with scattered rain showers. High 86. Friday heating up and drying out with a high of 91.
It is 72 degrees in Alpharetta, 71 in Lawrenceville. Ackworth has 72 degrees. We'll have more news at 10:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome back to the show and a good Wednesday morning to you. Mark Arum here, you there. It's 10:05, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. This is the Mark Arum Show, live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon on 95.5 WSB. The Core Four with us today. Deborah, executive producer of the show. Longoria, the stoic Eskimo on the other side of the takeout window. Vinny Drip screens your call 7 minutes from right now. I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K day bonus blitz. Chance for you to win $1,000 just for listening to the Mark Arum Show. 11:37, we've got tickets to give away to see Jim Gaffigan, and political analyst Stephen Lawson's going to join us live as we have a couple of big political stories here. Again, massive races heading for the governor and the Senate seat. So he will join us live at 11:37. Any moment now, Epstein survivors will be on Capitol Hill with members of Congress holding a press conference there, trying to get more of those Epstein files released. We had a big data dump yesterday, but by all accounts, it was already stuff that was public knowledge. So we'll monitor that. Secretary of State Marco Rubio going to be meeting with his counterpart in Mexico a little bit later today. So a couple of big stories that we're going to follow throughout the day here on 95.5 WSB. I want to talk, though, about an interesting story that I think we all can relate to. In fact, I know we can all relate to. Joining us is correspondent Rory O'Neill. Rory, good morning. Went to visit my parents this weekend, and one of the first questions they asked was, to me and my wife, they're like, when are you guys planning on retiring? And honestly, that date changes by the month with all this economic uncertainty out there. We don't know what's going to happen with our retirement accounts. New data out now. What does the average American think about when they're going to retire, or do they think they might even be able to retire?
Yeah, right now, 50% of Americans don't think it's realistic for the average American to expect to retire comfortably. And one of the stats I'm noticing in this Wallet Hub report is found that more than 1 in 4 Americans are counting on family members to support them financially when they retire. So I think mom and dad were asking you, hey, keep on the job. We need that money supply coming in all the time. I think that was a little self-interest on their part. No, but really the number in this survey that got my jaw dropping was that 43% of Americans say they expect to work until they die. Just an astounding number there.
Wow. Do we have historical polling numbers on that number? Has that number grown, do we know?
I haven't seen any historical data on this, but we do know that this has been the expense of retiring has been a growing concern as we've seen real estate costs soar over the past 20 years or so, or at least since the Great Recession. And I think that business model, that mentality of, I'll just retire with some small little place in Florida, that's not an escape area anymore because Florida and Arizona have both become places very expensive and no longer, seen as that cheap final getaway.
Yeah, and generationally, too, you go back a couple of generations, it was people had pensions and they knew that they'd get Social Security. But folks my age and younger, Social Security is not a guarantee anymore. Pensions are few and far between. So it actually kind of makes sense that so many Americans think that, hey, they're just going to work until they're gone.
Well, right. And, that's optimistic, too. I mean, believe it or not, in that you think that you'll be able to be healthy enough to keep on working. That's not an option for a lot of people, especially doing more of that back-breaking work. But, you're assuming that you'll be able to function fully until you die, which is also a real concern as healthcare costs are mounting. Obviously, living in some assisted living or retirement home is much more expensive. There are insurance programs that many people are encouraged to invest in to help offset those costs for later in life. But what we're really seeing, though, is that so few Americans actually consult a professional about trying to plan for this. When companies got away from pensions, they essentially put our retirement planning on our shoulders, saying, well, good luck. Here's a 401k. You figure it out. But, more than 1 in 4 Americans say they have no retirement plan.
Yeah, that's scary. Correspondent Rory O'Neill joining us on the Mark Arum Show. While I have you, Rory, the big announcement yesterday, President Trump, 2 p.m., Space Force, Space Command, going to be moving to Huntsville, Alabama from Colorado. What does Space Command do, and why did the president pick Alabama?
Yeah, Space Command is different from Space Force. So Central Command, you probably heard of in the Pentagon. It's where the military coordinates its response to the Middle East at Central Command, which is located in Tampa. And Central Command can send Navy ships, they can send the Air Force, they can send the Army. And well, Space Command will do the same thing, and they're able to send the Space Force or any other asset that would be needed when it comes to protecting our GPS satellites, our communication satellites, or if that asteroid is coming like Armageddon, that's something that the Space Command would be responsible for. That's what's going to be moving from Colorado to Alabama. There's been a ongoing fight over the location of this headquarters. President Trump was asked the why. He said, it's not political, but I won Alabama by 47 points, and Colorado has a corrupt mail-in ballot system. But it's not political.
Yeah, I did hear that yesterday in the press. But I mean, historically, Huntsville, we're familiar with it here in Metro Atlanta. Rocket City, right? That's the moniker. Do we have?
Yeah, well, that's famous for designing, making, and testing rockets.
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily what the Space Force needs.
Do we have a final question
Space
for you,
Command.
Roy? Do we know what the timeline of Space Command changing locales will be?
Yeah, it's going to take several years, probably also cost a few $100 million, but they're hoping that because it's a cheaper place to live and set up shop, they're hoping that over time they'll recoup that investment by relocating to Huntsville.
Rory, interesting stuff as always. Have a great day, my friend.
Thanks, Mark.
I want to talk about that a little bit later on the show. 43% of Americans think they're going to work until they expire. That's a big number, a big number. All right, I'm going to pad your retirement account right now. Right now, it's the 5K a day bonus blitz, friends. Your 10 a.m. keyword is fresh, F-R-E-S-H, fresh, like so fresh and so clean. Enter the keyword fresh into the WSB Radio app or at WSBRadio.com/cash. You have until 10:30 a.m. to enter the keyword, win $1,000. The keyword is fresh, F-R-E-S-H. Don't forget, if you get a phone call after 10:30 from a number you don't recognize, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Could be us telling you you won $1,000. Your keyword is fresh, F-R-E-S-H, fresh. Good luck, everybody. Not going to lie, if I won $1,000, I'd probably go straight to eBay and start buying some baseball cards that I want. Joining us live, tech contributor to CBS News, our buddy Ian Sherr. Ian, good morning, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I am on my eBay page currently. I've got 1,830 feedback, all 100% positive. I've been on eBay since 2001, again, mostly buying tchotchkes and baseball cards. But the reason I'm talking about eBay and having you on the show, eBay celebrates its 30th birthday. How is that possible that eBay's 30 years old?
It's pretty remarkable to think about both how old it is, because it makes me feel old, but also how much impact it's had. Right? I mean, it was really the place that online shopping started in a big way before people like Amazon or even Best Buy and Walmart and Target even thought about doing online shopping. And even though it is one of the pioneers, it has still been able to carve out a really solid niche in that world that you're describing, right? Collectibles and people trying to find tchotchkes or sell off their stuff that they found. I actually had an appraisal done recently on something, and I was surprised to find that in the appraisal documents, to back up the value, they included a recent sale on eBay.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Remarkable.
I'm a baseball card nerd, and those are what we call comps, like comparative sales. You see what a card sold for on eBay, and that tells you what the current market price is. And folks are always flooding me with emails saying, "Hey, how much is this card worth?" And I go, "Just go to eBay and search what has sold." And I mean, they really set the market, but eBay, I mean, the fact that it's 30 years old is remarkable because it's had some major transformations over the last 30 years, including, most notably the behemoth in the online industry now, Amazon.
Yes, I mean, Amazon really is the global leader of online sales in many, many different ways. And to eBay's credit, I don't think that company ever tried to get into the idea of being an actual warehouse and shipper, right? They did always kind of try to grow a little bit. Like for a while, they owned PayPal, right? They actually bought PayPal back in 2002. And the people who co-founded PayPal, including Elon Musk, right now the CEO of Tesla, and also Peter Thiel, a very famous investor, they were both, their careers kind of catapulted as a result of that acquisition. They're all called the PayPal Mafia within the tech industry. But, it's also been a place where, for example, they bought Skype for a while, and Skype was a part of eBay, and they were trying to figure out, how can communication change as a part of online shipping and selling. And in a lot of ways, I found out about the way that USPS did online stickers and being able to actually ship from online through eBay. That's where a lot of that stuff became popular. So, even though they are not like Amazon on any level, it's still been remarkable to see that it's continued to be that place where, not just baseball nerds like yourself, but, I've even been surprised to find like tech stuff. Like if there's a part I can't find, I often go to eBay to look for it because someone is getting rid of something. And, even baby clothes and stuff like that, even though there are niche organizations that have popped up or even buy nothing groups on Facebook, it's still popular on eBay to sell and buy kids' clothes. And so it's amazing what they're able to do.
Yeah, popular with hoarders like me and for folks with niche interests. Now, folks that are listening that are not familiar with eBay, eBay is known as, it's a bidding site. You bid on stuff. But a majority of the things for sale on eBay aren't auctioned anymore. They're listed as a buy it now price, which I think shows that they saw a change in the landscape of online sales. And now I would imagine a majority of eBay sales are not from auctions, but from buy it now.
Yeah. And look, I think part of what is going on is that, eBay, even though it is an auction site and that's really where its base is, a lot of people don't want to have to deal with that, right? I mean, you look at even today, I think when you think about prices, people are most anxious all the time about the price of eggs and milk and of gas, right? And whether it's going up and down, they want prices to be stable. And I think that's the same thing with an auction. Even though you could be selling that PlayStation at an auction and maybe get the highest price, the truth is most people probably don't want to deal with that. And they just want to be able to say, okay, I'll pay this, give it to me.
Yeah, I'm addicted to eBay, unfortunately. It's one of the first things I check when I get it. After I do my show prep.
I'm sure they appreciate it.
Yeah, eBay stock down a little bit now. It's $89.09 on some worries about, and this could affect me because I do buy a lot of baseball cards internationally, that they're going to stop shipping to the United States because of tariff concerns.
Yeah, and actually that's one other element of eBay that's been interesting is that even though it has carved out its own little niche, this idea of shipping and shopping stuff from that's rather cheap coming from China, like Temu and a bunch of these others AliExpress do, it's likely that a lot of those cheap products are going to see an increase in their costs because a lot of the tariffs that were put in place were delayed, particularly for those kind of cheaper items, and those delays have now started to pass. So it's going to be interesting to see not just how international shippers change the way they approach the United States because of tariffs, but also how the cost of goods for us, right, and the cheaper products that you're able to find online, whether or not those prices start going up as well.
Ian, always great insight. Happy 30th birthday to eBay. Appreciate your time, my friend.
Absolutely.
There you go. I'm going to search eBay. I'm looking for Spencer Strider 1-of-1 cards. I'll do that after I remind you that the 10 a.m. 5K Day Bonus Blitz keyword is FRESH, F-R-E-S-H, FRESH. Enter FRESH into the WSB Radio app or at He's fresh, he's clean, he's incomparable. He's manning Atlanta's only 24-hour traffic center. Smiling Mark McKay.
Still looking at waves of slow traffic, especially out of Douglasville and on the east side. Let's begin on I-20, where after a nearly 2-hour crash closure, all lanes are back open. I-20 eastbound in Lithia Springs at exit 44 Thornton Road. It is jammed, though. I-20 eastbound is back at Chapel Hill Road. While the crash cleanup was going on in Lithia Springs, a car in the backup caught fire in Douglasville. Fire rescue were on the scene. They had all lanes blocked for a while. I-20 eastbound at Highway 92, but that vehicle fire cleanup is on the shoulder as well, but still quite difficult between Douglasville and Six Flags this morning. And the east side perimeter, travel advisory, rollover crash in Clarkston. Only a right lane open on the outer loop 285 north at Highway 78, exit 39. With those delays back at Glenwood Road, rolling out of Stonecrest, Lithonia, just stay on I-20 westbound into downtown Atlanta. This report sponsored by Blindster.com. Blindster.com is a family business making custom blinds, shades, and shutters. Give them a try and see why over 1 million windows have trusted Blindster. Smiler Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
It doesn't have to be like this.
You don't have to put up with it.
Shutting down the ramp from 285 east.
You don't have to sit in it.
It takes almost 30 minutes to go 400 south.
And you don't have to look at your phone to get out of it.
It is Atlanta traffic, and getting you out of it is what we do best.
We had a lot going on this morning through Henry County.
Updated traffic as often as you need it from local traffic reporters 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
It's a jackknife tractor trailer.
Triple team traffic.
95.5 WSB.
How Atlanta gets there.
Is your heating and cooling system so old you can't remember when it was installed? If so, it's time to get protection from Reliable Heating and Air. Hey, friends, it's Mark Aram. Check this out. Let Reliable Heating and Air protect your AC from breakdowns and your budget. Just $14.99 a month. They're licensed, bonded, and insured. No deductibles, no claims or paperwork, no service fees, just coverage for your aging AC and heating systems. Get all the information you need online at reliableair.com.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. I know finding a dream engagement ring can be overwhelming, but don't worry, we got you. As director of diamond sourcing, it's my job to make sure every single diamond at Shane Company is truly the best of the best. Our team travels the world to see diamonds up close, in person. We handpick each one for its unique fire, brilliance, and scintillation. Diamond buying is an art. Of course, we look at cut, color, clarity, and carat, known as the 4 C's. But that's not all. We also look at how each diamond looks on a hand, where it will be worn, how it makes you feel, and if it's worthy of a Shane Company customer. That type of expertise only comes from working for a company that's been a family business since 1929. We also think about your budget. We only pick the best in each grade in all shapes and sizes. Your diamond is guaranteed to be the most beautiful because a friend wants you to pick from only the best. Drop by your store or shaneco.com and see for yourself. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
This is Scott Slade with how a short phone call can change your life for the better. Take a few minutes and call MyLend and see if there's a way to put money in your pocket every month. There's so many options with MyLend. Here's an example. One of my friends at MyLend is looking at a reverse mortgage for his mom, who's 82. She's currently in a house that's paid for and too much to take care of by herself. So they're considering a reverse mortgage by selling her current house, then buying a smaller one by only putting 50% down and then putting the other 50% in her bank account, essentially trading homes and putting a couple of $100,000 in her pocket. If you or your parents have a similar situation, call MyLend, where the guys and gals there will put together a plan that's just right for you with no obligation. Call 770-817-2000. That's 770-817-2000. Online, it's mylend.com. Spell it M-I-L-E-N-D. NMLS and Georgia Residential Mortgage Licensee 148769, located at 8995 West Side Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. MyLand is an equal housing lender.
Dave Baker here for Ben Hill Renovations, my deck guys. You know it's always deck season. Host a party, watch the big game, cook out. It's all possible on your new deck from Ben Hill Renovations. Ben Hill offers a better contractor experience. Every project is built with future county and city code requirements in mind. Your project won't go over budget, and all jobs are backed by the Ben Hill Renovations Workmanship Warranty. See them on the web at bhrenovations.com. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, every week on the show, we offer folks something we call the Portfolio X-Ray I was hoping you could walk us through that process and tell us why the information it uncovers is so powerful.
Yeah, so the reason we love doing the portfolio x-ray for you is we do that behind the scenes. Everybody's extremely busy. Nobody wants to waste time in traffic. If you call in, we will ask you for some information via the phone. Once you've given us that information, we go to work and we put all the hours in developing the report. And I commit this to you. The portfolio x-ray is eye-opening. At least 90+% of the time, we can find 2 or 3 golden nuggets in there that you were not aware of that we can either change in your current portfolio mix for you. It's called a 401k optimizer. Or if we manage the assets for you, we certainly can recommend how to diversify away from some of the troubling points that are exposed during the portfolio x-ray. Once we've got that, then we'll have you in for your initial consultation. We will present the portfolio x-ray to you and walk you through the high points of it. And that's a document that you get to take with you. It's like getting a financial physical. Mm-hmm. So how many of you avoided going to the doctor for the annual physical last year? You do the same thing with your financial life. You ignore it. You keep pumping money into your 401k. You hope that it's going well, and I can tell you that hope is not a good investment or financial planning strategy. You need to know. So if you want to know, call us.
The Portfolio X-ray is complimentary. Give Hoffman Financial Group a call to schedule yours today. 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
They say the difference between a hockey mom and a pit bull? Lipstick.
Who doesn't remember that? 17 years ago, Vice Presidential nominee Sarah Palin stepped into the national spotlight at the Republican National Convention. Memory serves, that was a surprise pick for Vice President. That was 17 years ago. What's her daughter doing? I'm not going to lie. I had a mad crush on Bristol Palin. I'm not going to lie. And that's not inappropriate. It's age appropriate. But anyway, that was 17 years ago. When we come back, we are awaiting new Epstein victims to hold a press conference on Capitol Hill. We'll cover that, but right now you got 3 minutes left to enter the 5K Day Bonus Blitz keyword. Your 10 a.m. keyword is fresh, F-R-E-S-H, fresh. Good luck. News, weather, and traffic in 3 minutes on WSB.
Do you have mystery stains on your carpet? Call Zerorez Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Right now, clean more, and save up to $30. Mention WSB to secure this deal today. Schedule online at ZerorezAtlanta.com. Zerorez, it's the right way to clean.
Attention men, does ED and PE have you down? Well, great news. Choice Men's Health has the latest breakthrough treatments that can get you up and running. Meet the specialist who is dedicated to helping you perform better than ever in the bedroom.
Hi, I'm Dr. Katz, Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Our custom treatment plans have a 98% success rate at improving ED and PE on your very first visit, even if Viagra and Cialis have failed. Regardless of your age and medical history, we are here and dedicated to help you regain your love life.
Don't wait. Call Choice Men's Health now. We are so confident we can help. For a limited time, we're offering to cover your first treatment for free. Call 404-400-1170. Call now to claim your free treatment. 404-400-1170. Results guaranteed on your first visit or it's free. 404-400-1170. Choice Men's Health, the only choice for your health.
Start your wellness journey at Whole Foods Market. Save 33% on all supplements with Prime through September 9th. Stock up on favorites during this biannual event. While supplies last, shop in-store or online. Terms apply.
Let me teach you some physics. In a great big wind, the bigger and flatter the object, the more force the wind creates. Surface area times the square of the hypotenuse times wind speed divided by E equals MC squared, or some kind of math. Doesn't matter. But when storm season hits, your garage door is just standing there waiting for wind and physics to break it or dent it or send the whole thing flying down the street. And that, my friends, is science. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. Modern, wind-rated doors are built to withstand the forces of nature. Composite materials are stronger than the cheap old aluminum door that came with your house. And the tracks and rollers won't bend under the stress. It keeps your car safe and your insurance premiums low. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll make sure you're ready. And stay in school, kids.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 10:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by your Metro Atlanta AMCO dealers. This is new this half hour. U.S. job openings fell to 7.2 million in July. It's more evidence that the American labor market is cooling. And while we're talking about jobs, hundreds of new jobs are coming to Alpharetta as one of its existing companies announces a major expansion.
Equifax is bringing nearly 250 new jobs to its Windward Concourse campus over the next 3 years. And Alpharetta Director of Economic Development Charlie Jewell says the company plans to invest an additional $25 million.
Converting about 65,000 square feet of data center space into workspace for its corporate technology team.
He says Alpharetta is attractive to tech companies because of the talent they can find here and workers like the city's small-town charm and high-end appeal. Jennifer Perry, 95.5 WSB.
Your weather for today, partly cloudy. An isolated rain shower is possible. Highs around 84, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Now to Smyrna, where a body has been found inside an apartment building there following a fire. This is at the Bella 810 Apartments off Wendy Hill Road, west of Atlanta Road. A man's body found inside.
There is some suspicion on criminal activity that prompted the referral of the scene to Smyrna Police Department and the Smyrna Fire Marshal's office.
That is Smyrna Fire Lieutenant Evan McBrayer. He says that they're still looking for a cause of that fire and the cause of death for the victim, and they're looking into whether the fire was intentionally set or not. President Trump says that a U.S. strike on a drug vessel in the southern Caribbean killed 11 people. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth says there were narco-terrorists on that boat.
We knew exactly who was in that boat. We knew exactly what they were doing, and we knew exactly who they represented. And that was Tren de Aragua, a narco-terrorist organization designated by the United States trying to poison our country with illicit drugs.
And President Trump posted video of the strike on Truth Social. When first mentioning the strike while speaking in the Oval Office yesterday, Mr. Trump said that there were a lot of drugs on that boat. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is set to testify before the Senate Finance Committee tomorrow about the Trump administration's health care plans. The hearing was scheduled before the firing of CDC Director Dr. Susan Menares, but that and other resignations of top CDC officials will likely be brought up by lawmakers. Menares was reportedly ousted over differences in vaccine policy after just a month on the job. All right, ladies, do you get those gel manicures? Well, you may want to hear this then. There are questions about the safety.
European Union banned a key ingredient found in many gel nail polishes, citing the potential for harm. Studies in animals have raised concern about the chemical known as TPO and its effect on fertility and reproductive health. TPO remains unregulated in the U.S., but the American Academy of Dermatology recommends against getting gel manicures.
And Morgan Norwood says TPO is what causes the gel to harden and gives the nails that shiny gloss. All right, let's take a look at the markets. The Dow's down 130 at 45,165. NASDAQ is in positive territory, up more than a full percent, and the S&P is up almost 0.5%. Time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. For that, we turn now to Smile and Mark Day.
Travel advisory, east side perimeter, only a right lane getting by in Clarkston. Rollover crash cleanup on 285 northbound. The outer loop at Highway 78, exit 39. As you jammed on that east side perimeter back toward Glenwood. I-20 west into downtown, the best way to go. Travel advisory rolling into Buford. Only a right lane getting by a crash 985 southbound at exit 12 Spout Springs Road. And I-20 will be in recovery mode for a while out of Douglasville and Lithia Springs, even though all lanes are open. Crash is on the shoulder. Crash that had I-20 shut down for about 2 hours is on the shoulder. I-20 eastbound at Thornton Road, exit 44. Smile Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. A mix of sun and clouds today. An isolated rain shower can't be ruled out. High 84. Lows tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, partly to mostly cloudy with scattered rain showers. High 86. Drying out and heating up on Friday. High 91.
It is 74 degrees in Chamblee, 73 in Sandy Springs, and Peachtree City has 74 degrees. We'll have more news at 11 o'clock, breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
Online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
All right, thank you. The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
Oh, my word.
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app. The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Your next chance to win is at 12 p.m.
We're going to continue to bring in more people. We learned of some additional names. We're going to do everything we can to give the American public the transparency they seek, as well as provide accountability in memory of the victims.
That's Kentucky Republican James Comer. We are awaiting a press conference from Epstein victims in Washington, D.C. We'll continue our coverage live in 2 minutes on The Mark Arum Show.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now a new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place. You know, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in will work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on portfolio x-ray, or click on full retirement plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
10:37. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. Who did we just give $1,000 to? Let me say congratulations to Shantae and Griffin. Won $1,000 in the 5K a day bonus blitz. Your next chance to win $1,000 right after the noon news, right after this broadcast of the Mark Arum Show. Don't have to wait, though. In 1 hour, Deborah's got tickets to give away to see the amazingly funny and talented Jim Gaffigan. I won't forget the concert date. It's on my anniversary, Deborah, September 12th, and it is at Atlanta Symphony Hall. Is that correct?
Atlanta Symphony Hall.
What a great venue to see a stand-up comedian, by the way. Unbelievable. All right, so congrats to Shantae. You can win Gaffigan tickets in an hour and another chance at the 5K day bonus blitz coming up after the new news. All right, we are monitoring. Marjorie Taylor Greene. There's no way I can get this audio live, is there? She is now speaking on Capitol Hill. Again, this is a press conference of survivors of Jeffrey Epstein's abuse. Marjorie Taylor Greene is full on board to get all the files out. She is actually speaking right now at this press conference. I'm going to try to get you that audio. We talked about this earlier, what exactly is going on with Ali Pecorin from ABC News. She's the congressional correspondent about the release of the big release of documents yesterday regarding the Epstein files.
I was part of a group that went through the documents last night. About 30,000 pages of documents, which is a lot, but actually almost all of them have already been made public through other avenues over the many years that this story has been live. So we actually didn't get a whole lot of new information out of that tranche of documents, though I should note it's only a small fraction of everything that the Department of Justice has in its possession related to the Epstein files. And so on Capitol Hill, what we're seeing in the House is a little bit of debate about how to compel those documents to be made public a little bit more quickly. On the one side, we see the House Oversight Committee working really hard to move these documents through. That's the committee that released what we saw last night. On the other, though, there's a small group of Republicans that are trying to force the issue onto the House floor a little bit more publicly, trying to garner support to force a vote on the Department of Justice releasing all of the documents to the Congress and the public. So that's going to be a bit of an issue this week as we move forward, especially today, because a number of Epstein victims are going to be publicly speaking.
All right, Ali Pecorin. Let's go live. Marjorie Taylor Greene now speaking.
And we may also hear claims that we cannot verify at this time. Let's listen.
Oh, there we go.
Jeffrey Epstein and his cabal that continued a nightmare. Those people deserve the shame. And today we are coming forward and we are going to fight like hell for these women, because we have to fight like hell for those that are enduring sexual abuse and are living in a prison of shame. Anyone that is being abused, it is not your fault. You should live with no guilt or fear or shame. All of the fault belongs to the evil people that do these things to the innocent. This is the most important fight we can wage here in Congress, is fighting for innocent people that never receive justice. And the women behind me have never received justice. And do you want to know why? It's because Jeffrey Epstein somehow was able to walk among the most rich, powerful people, not only in America, but foreign countries. Yesterday, I heard countries like Saudi Arabia, Russia, and even Israel, and other countries. The truth needs to come out, and the government holds the truth. The cases that are sealed hold the truth. Jeffrey Epstein's estate holds the truth. The FBI, the DOJ, and the CIA holds the truth. And the truth we are demanding come out on behalf of these women, but also as a strong message to every innocent child, teenager, woman, and man that is being held captive in abuse. This should never happen in America, and it should never be a political issue that divides us. And I want to thank Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie for doing something brave, crossing political boundaries for a very important fight. And I'm honored to join both of them. And I'm honored that Nancy Mace and Lauren Boebert signed the discharge petition along with myself. And I asked my Republican colleagues not to choose just one path for justice and transparency and accountability, but I asked my Republican colleagues to choose every path for justice and accountability and transparency. And with that, I'd like to bring back Congressman Ro Khanna to start this important press conference.
All right, that was Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, not mincing words about getting these Epstein files released. And it's going to be an interesting photo op because a small number of Republicans, including she mentioned Massie, on stage with a handful of Democrats right now in a bipartisan effort to get these files and videos and all the data released. Apparently, only 1%, Deborah, of what the FBI has on Epstein and Maxwell have been released thus far, including those 30,000 pages. So think about that. If 30,000 pages of information is just 1% of what they have, like that, they have some massive files right now. But very interesting, bipartisan there. Marjorie Taylor Greene sharing the dais with some Democrat lawmakers as they, again, we are waiting for Epstein victims to speak out publicly, some of them for the first time. Some people, some of these victims we didn't know before, but now they have the courage to come forward and try to get the Epstein files released. Crazy, crazy situation right now on Capitol Hill. And we mentioned earlier, President Trump behind the scenes probably putting some pressure on Republicans in the House to not sign on to this Massey measure to move this forward. But as Marjorie Taylor Greene mentioned, she name-dropped Boebert, Nancy Mace as already two of her female colleagues that have signed on. I wonder if this is going to break down gender lines, Deborah, where, female Republican congresswomen will sign on to this, political career be damned, because they care more about the victims than their political career. That's something to worth watch. Yeah. All right. So the press conference is going on now. I'm going to wait. I just wanted to take Marjorie Taylor Greene because she's from Georgia. I'm not going to bother with the other congressmen and women that are speaking. But once the victims get in there, we'll monitor that and bring you their stories as they get a chance to, lay out their experience with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. While we're waiting for that, Deborah, I'm an equal opportunity offender. I know I throw Gen Z under the bus a lot of times, but I'm also going to throw the boomers under the bus a bunch of times. And this isn't really throwing them under the bus, but new data shows that baby boomers are the least prepared for natural disasters, which kind of surprises me because I'm thinking of my parents. They're retired. They've got money. They've got a generator at their house. Why are boomers the most ill-prepared for natural disasters?
Well, it says 9 in 10 Americans think it's important to be prepared, but about 50% actually have any type of plan or supplies ready to go. So we think we should be prepared, but then we never really do anything about it. So the generations that seem to be a little more progressive in having stuff ready or some type of plan, that's Gen Z and Millennial. About 55% of those actually have something ready to go. For Gen X, that's at 51%, but Boomers are all the way down at 39%. And we're not really sure if it's just them not putting stuff together or technology changing, but boomers just not as prepped for a natural disaster.
That's surprising to me because if you think about it, I listened to this fantasy baseball podcast, and they they have the same sponsors like every show, and one of them is one of those like Patriot food bucket commercials.
Oh, yeah.
So I hear it all the time, and it's like 25-year shelf life for food, and I don't know how much it costs. They never do the price. But the people that could afford that, I would think, the food buckets are boomers, right? They've got, disposable income.
And they sell those at Costco now.
Yeah, but so that surprises me that boomers are the least prepared for it. I'm surprised that Gen Z, too. Like, they seem like they.
They probably have it as a TikTok challenge. Like, hey, are you prepared for a disaster? So they all had to do it and then film their videos.
Well done, Deborah. All right, so I just picked on boomers. Let's pick on Gen Z. It's one of my favorite things. I understand this. I'm going to explain why. What are Gen Z folks scared to do that the older folks think nothing about?
Okay, it seems that Gen Z has anxiety at the gas station. They're afraid of actually filling up their cars with gas.
All right, our resident Gen Zer, down south, Vinny Drip. Vinny, you drive the same car Maya has. You've got a nice car. Do you feel anxiety pumping gas?
Anxiety,
like you get nervous.
I have friends that do, yeah. Like they rather get in an electric car than stop at the gas station. Absolutely.
Why do they not want to stop at the gas station?
It's too much danger at the gas station.
That's my point was going to be, Deborah, is that, the Gen Zers, they grew up watching the nightly news or listening to the radio and hearing like carjacking at the Chevron on Memorial. Like, I mean, we soak it in, but we aren't deathly afraid of it because we spend a majority of our lives pumping gas and not worrying about getting carjacked. But is that the main fear, Vinny?
We're new drivers, so it's like... And then if you're out late, you don't want to. No.
How about just take your keys out of your car when you're going to put gas so that no one steals your car?
See, now I don't know nothing about that.
He doesn't know anything. Yeah. So I mean, I saw the headline. I was like, they're scared to get, but it makes sense. Their whole life, they've seen stories of people getting, and you go on Instagram or Facebook, or you see these videos of really bad stuff going on at gas stations. So, Vinny, fill up during the daylight and you'll feel less anxiety.
Absolutely.
All right, there you go. All right. All right. Jeffrey Epstein survivors speaking out momentarily. I believe we're still hearing from some lawyers, so we're going to monitor that and see what they have to say. This is Anascu DiGiorgio, an Epstein survivor. Let's listen to her for a couple of seconds.
Accountability is what makes a society civilized.
equal opportunity and equal consequence for all. Consequences are not about punishment alone. They exist to deter future harm, to protect vulnerable, and to set a standard of justice. If Ghislaine Maxwell were pardoned, it would undermine all the sacrifices I made to testify and make mockery of mine and all survivors' suffering.
All right, we're going to hear some powerful stuff, I'm sure, at this press conference. We'll monitor, get you caught up to date after a quick break and a check of the roads. Looks like 285 I-20, the place not to be right now, Mark McKay.
You better believe it, Mark. On the west side perimeter, at times, all lanes blocked. Maintenance work being done again by DOT, halting 285 southbound at times, leaving Hollowell Parkway, exit 12. Solid delays back toward South Cobb Drive. The west side is recovering on I-20 as well from a crash that had I-20 shut down for almost 2 hours. I-20 east at Thornton Road. All lanes back open there, but very slow out of Douglasville. And the east side perimeter is all jammed up, leaving Covington Highway, trying to get up to Clarkston. Crash that had 3 left lanes knocked out, and exit 39, Highway 78, is fully on the right shoulder. Smiley Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
When you need to know.
This story is developing in Atlanta.
When you want to know.
Severe weather is on its way.
When you have to know.
We'll alert you as soon as this closure clears.
Get notifications
from your source for news.
Get the WSB Radio app.
Download it from your app store today.
Better prices, better views. Window comfort, meant just for you. Window comfort.
Don't be fooled by the big box brands. Window Comfort's exclusive window line is custom built for Georgia weather, installed by in-house pros and guaranteed never to fog. With factory direct pricing, it's affordable for everyone. Go to windowcomfort.com for real quality that lasts.
Better prices, better views. Window comfort, meant just for you. Window comfort.
Atlanta DIY landlords, listen up. If you're exhausted from managing your rental properties all by yourself, my friends at Renters Warehouse Atlanta offering a 90-day test drive. Hire Renters Warehouse to manage your rental property for a low flat monthly fee as low as $115. If you're not satisfied at any time in the first 3 months, you can fire them. Get your management fees back. What do you get for that low flat monthly fee? A dedicated property management team, maintenance coordination, move in and move out property condition reports, advanced tenant screening with a 9-month tenant warranty, professional photography and videography, lease renewal processing and negotiations, online rent collection, monthly owner cash flow statements, and more. Renters Warehouse, so confident you'll love their service, they want an addition for your business. Choice is yours. Keep DIYing or see how Renters Warehouse can make your life easier. Start your 90-day test drive today. Go to rwatlanta.com or call 404-662-2322, 404-662-2322.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Hi, I'm Deborah Morton, host of Inside Georgia Real Estate, right here on 95.5 WSB. If you listen to my show each Saturday, we cover Atlanta's housing market and all things real estate related. So, whether you're buying your dream home or selling your current one, hiring the right agent is essential. The Agency Atlanta is the iconic brokerage that is revolutionizing real estate worldwide. We pair global resources with decades of hyper-local Atlanta market expertise to deliver results. If you're selling your home, we'll help you showcase your property and maximize your return. If you're buying, we'll guide you through every step to secure the perfect home for your lifestyle. Either way, we would love to earn the privilege of being your agent. So, if you're looking for that perfect Buckhead bungalow, that Alpharetta estate, an in-town condo, or suburban bliss, visit InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com today to connect with us at the Agency Atlanta. That's InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com.
What you walk on in your home should be wonderful.
Hi, I'm Michael, proud founder of Authentic Hardwood Flooring. Our dedicated, highly trained installers are different. They are true craftsmen with a passion for perfection. Some people hang art on their walls. Our team puts it under your feet. Our promise is to make your flooring process painless. Our focus is to make it perfect.
Authentic Hardwood Flooring offers high-quality craftsmanship with an exceptional customer experience. AuthenticHardwoodFlooring.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're a different kind of wireless company dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Because let's face it, our needs are different. Big wireless unlimited plans are designed for 20-somethings, not us. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on one thing, bringing you affordable, reliable rate plans that suit your needs, not ours. How do we do that? We start by using the same towers as the big guys, the exact same towers. We then create rate plans designed for your usage. The fact is, we can offer you an unlimited plan with the same network quality for less because we understand how you use wireless services. Our plans start at just $20 a month. And forget trying to chat with robots. You'll get 100% US-based award-winning customer service when you need help. Come find out how wireless should be and join the millions who've made the switch.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
I did tell her, and that was tough. But she's so little and so naive. She's like, she's like, Mom, you're such a badass.
That's Marina Lacerda, a survivor of Jeffrey Epstein's abuse, said she was lured into his world when she was just 14 years old. She said she's also told her daughter about the abuse. Annie Farmer is a Jeffrey Epstein survivor. She is now speaking live on Capitol Hill.
At a time with record high levels of distrust in our institutions and a perception that there are two Americas, one for those with power and privilege and one for everyone else, passing this Epstein transparency bill is one important step that can be taken to prove to Americans that the government does not side with sexual perpetrators.
All right, we're going to continue to monitor that. Again, some of these Epstein survivors that are going to be speaking at this press conference in D.C. They're the first time we've heard or saw them. They've had the courage to come forward. It's apropos, I guess, is the word I'm going to use. It's probably not the correct word, Deborah. When I went to the bathroom, shocking, before my flight from Hartford to Atlanta, and when I landed in Atlanta, and you close the door to the stall, and do you know what's on? I don't know if it's in the ladies' room, but have you seen what's on the back of the bathroom doors?
Like emergency numbers to call?
Yeah, like human trafficking numbers. Like in English and Spanish, like, hey, if you're being trafficked, like, call this number, we'll come save you. It's like, you could be coming back from a trip to Disney World and you're living your best life, and then you get smacked with reality like, wow, this is really a big thing. The abuse, the trafficking, and it's awful. And I do love the fact that they have those placards in the bathrooms for if girls are being trafficked and they, hey, can I go to the bathroom? And then they have a number there. Now, I don't know if they'd have a phone or anything to use it, but stark reality. All right, so more and more Jeffrey Epstein survivors will be speaking out. Marina Lacerda, who I just played, she is now on the dais. We'll monitor that and give you coverage. We'll see if this moves the needle and we get more transparency with the Epstein files. When we come back after news, weather, and traffic, we're going to update our top local stories, and we'll tell you about a new phrase called job hugging. Hugging. That's not the keyword, by the way. It's just called job hugging. We'll explain. Social media is active at Mark Airman, at WSB Radio.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
I love my home, and now I found a company that loves it as much as I do. TE Certified Electrical Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. It's Chris Chandler here. These folks have done work in my home, and boy, it didn't take long to realize I could trust their expertise, their attention to detail, and what I think you'll find, just as I did, an amazing level of service. TE Certified has more than 20,000 five-star reviews, and it's been serving Atlanta for decades.
TE Certified, we love your home.
Whether it's a slip that ends in a slip disc, a trick knee that's holding you back,
or shoulder pain hurting your game. You can count on Northside Hospital Orthopedics. With leading care in Georgia at convenient locations all across the state, we're here to get you back on your feet, no matter what comes your way. Because Georgia moves us, and we keep Georgia moving. Find a provider near you at northside.com/ortho. That's northside.com/ORTHO.
Let me teach you some physics. In a great big wind, the bigger and flatter the object, the more force the wind creates. Surface area times the square of the hypotenuse times wind speed divided by E equals MC squared, or some kind of math. Doesn't matter. But when storm season hits, your garage door is just standing there waiting for wind and physics to break it or dent it or send the whole thing flying down the street. And that, my friends, is science. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. Modern wind-rated doors are built to withstand the forces of nature. Composite materials are stronger than the cheap old aluminum door that came with your house. And the tracks and rollers won't bend under the stress. It keeps your car safe and your insurance premiums low. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll make sure you're ready. And stay in school, kids.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 11 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. A deadly fire in Smyrna, now a criminal investigation. Fire crews called to the Bella 810 apartments off Wendy Hill Road at Ward Street. They were able, firefighters, to quickly extinguish that blaze, but the discovery of a body inside the apartment prompted a broader investigation.
There is some suspicion on criminal activity that prompted the referral of the scene to Smyrna Police Department and the Smyrna Fire Marshal's office.
As Lieutenant Evan McBrayer, he says investigators are now determining both the cause of the fire and cause of death for the adult victim. Your weather for today, partly cloudy and isolated rain showers possible, and a high this afternoon of 84. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards will have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes. We are hearing today from a woman who says that she's a survivor of sex offender Jeffrey Epstein's abuse. She tells reporter Lindsay Davis that she was lured into his world when she was only 14 years old.
I think with Jeffrey Epstein, it starts somewhere, but then it ends with either you having sex with him, whether you like it or not.
A bipartisan effort in Congress underway to release files related to Epstein. A House Oversight Committee has been looking into certain documents that the DOJ provided, but they want all of the files turned over. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. set to testify before the Senate Finance Committee tomorrow about the Trump administration's health care plans. Georgia Senator John Ossoff telling WSB that he's disappointed by recent cuts at the Atlanta-based CDC.
This is an important institution, not just for the state of Georgia, but for health nationally. It's the top disease-fighting institution in the country.
And the cuts at CDC and the firing of its director recently likely to be questions that the health secretary will be pressed to answer. In DeKalb County, commissioners have approved $200,000 that will go towards reproductive health care. Commissioner Ted Terry tells us how the money will be used.
So this includes testing for STDs, pap smears, family planning services, and then another part of the funding is actually to provide free access to Plan B throughout distribution sites in the county.
The approval comes after Supreme Court rulings reduced access to reproductive care, and federal funding cuts have targeted Planned Parenthood clinics. Terry says that there are potentially some 10,000 women in DeKalb who could be eligible for the services. eBay is turning 30. Ian Schur explains why this anniversary is a big deal in the tech world.
eBay is one of the only remaining original online companies to survive. Having survived the dot-com bust 25 years ago, the recession, and now the AI boom, eBay is still here.
Yeah, eBay is also home to PayPal. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow's in the red, down 75 at 45,220. NASDAQ and the S&P are both in positive territory. The NASDAQ is up more than a full percent. The S&P is up more than 0.5%. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. We say good Wednesday morning to Alex Williams. He has a look at your roads.
Hey, good morning, Sabrina. Not good out on the roadways. It's been a busy one, and the trend continues. There's a crash on the south side by the airport, 285 eastbound, the outer loop past Riverdale Road, exit 6. 60 near there's airport tunnels. 1 to 2 right lanes are blocked there. You're slow back before Riverdale Road. If you're traveling 285 southbound, the outer loop over on the west side, it's all brake lights from South Atlanta Road where they've been pacing traffic down to I-20, the West Freeway. Crash in Midtown, 85 southbound before 17th Street in the second left lane. And looking for trouble, 75 south in Bartow County below Old Allatoona Road approaching that Lake Bridge. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy with an isolated rain shower possible this afternoon. High 84, lows tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, partly to mostly cloudy with scattered rain showers. High 86. Friday, heating up and drying out with a high of 91.
76 degrees in Johns Creek, 74 in Monroe. East Point has 79 degrees right now. We'll have more news at 11:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
I'll run this town to be near you.
11:04 on this gorgeous Wednesday in the A. Welcome back, Mark Arum and crew with you till noon. 30 minutes from now, Deborah's got tickets to give away to see hilariously funny Jim Gaffigan, and then we're going to talk to hilariously funny Stephen Lawson, our political analyst, and then in exactly 1 hour, right after the noon news, I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K a day bonus blitz. Another chance for you in $1,000 here on 95.5 WSB. Going to hit our top stories in just a second, but monitoring this press conference going on Capitol Hill right now, Jeffrey Epstein survivors speaking out. This is Courtney Wild now speaking to the audience.
Care because of Twitter and politics. But I would like to say this has nothing to do with politics. This is not a...
30,000 pages were released yesterday. Apparently 1% of what the FBI and NSA have on Epstein and Maxwell. And a majority, if not all of the documents released yesterday were already out there in the public. So no new news there. We'll continue to monitor the situation. Again, Epstein survivors continue to speak out. And we'll see if this moves the needle, if there can be a push in Congress to get more transparency. Again, I think... I've said this consistently, Deborah, let the chips fall where they may. Mm-hmm. There may be some names in there that might shock people, but let's find out. Let's just get it all out right now. I'm not sure how many survivors are going to speak, but we'll continue to monitor this. And, of course, we'll have reaction throughout the day here on 95.5 WSB. All right, before the news break, I mentioned a new term that I'd never heard of called job hugging. Now, I'm so far out of the loop when it comes to people switching jobs and changing career. I mean, I'm a snail. I've been here for 28 years. I've had many opportunities to leave WSB, but thankfully, knock on wood, I didn't take the offers that were given. In hindsight, it would have been really poor career decision. But I am not out in that world where, I'm constantly looking for a job or changing jobs. And I know that there has been, a lot of turnover over the last, basically since the pandemic, where people were not happy with their careers. They were working remote, and then they had to come to the office, and they're like, screw this, I'm going to get another job. But now that trend is reversing, and it's called job hugging. Explain what job hugging is, Deborah.
All right, so it's a fairly new term, probably just around this year, and it's kind of backlash to that great resignation that we had after the pandemic that everybody kind of remembered. But it's fairly new, and it's basically people staying in their job longer than they want. And it's not necessarily because they love their job or they're loyal to them, but it's like they're afraid that they might lose their job because of economic uncertainty. AI is a factor coming in. They might lose their job to AI. And so they're kind of staying in these jobs a little bit longer because there's really not another place to go. There's less and less jobs. So they're calling that job hugging.
Interesting. So that's like just holding on to what you have. Mm-hmm. The devil you know better than the devil you don't. But there's a lot of factors there, Deborah. AI specifically. Yeah. I would imagine, AI we've seen. By the way, did you see the piece on Saturday, CBS Saturday Mornings?
I did not.
The Dave Malkoff piece?
I did not.
Yeah, so he came in. He's the reporter that created that AI, Sadie Hawkins or whatever. No, not Sadie Hawkins.
Sadie Hawkins.
Winters. Sadie Winters.
Yeah, Winters. Shelley's sister.
So they did like a 7-minute piece on Saturday, CBS Saturday Mornings, the national show. And there's a clip of me. The first clip of the thing. Do you remember, Deborah, when I was introing the song? And I was like, Sadie Winters, live on B98.5 FM. And they use that as the opener.
So we didn't get the credit. You gave it to our sister station.
I gave it to B98.5. So, and there was one other segment, but it was a cool piece. Anyway, back to the story. Job hugging. AI taking, for now, entry level jobs. So I would imagine the younger kids that have those entry-level jobs that might have been job hopping 2 or 3 years ago are now going, oh, I might not be able to get a new job as easy as I thought. So let me stay here and keep my job. Economic uncertainty. The unemployment rate's still historically low. And I know this is like the third rail of talking about this, but what did we say, Deborah, yesterday? Over 1 million immigrants have left the job market.
Yeah. Yep.
So, I mean, but, if you're working an entry-level job at IBM, are you going to leave and become a landscaper job that, is now open, or a hotel maid, or, anyway, it's a weird labor market right now, but job hugging. I guess I've been hugging my job for 28 years. How many different radio stations have you worked at, Deborah, in your illustrious career?
Well, I mean, they all have clusters, right? Like,
Yeah.
technically, I work for 2 stations at this one company, and before I worked for another company where I worked for 6 stations. So I guess 8.
But just two
really
companies.
Just 2 companies.
Okay,
yeah.
so that's hey, listen, in the nomadic radio life, that's not bad.
I know.
Just to
I know. Very lucky.
have 2. Yeah, I am an absolute unicorn in this. My first radio job was this one, and knock on wood, it'll be my last one.
I've been through 4 companies
in your illustrious career. But if Rory tells me, Rory O'Neill, who joined us live, about Americans' thoughts on retirement, I'm probably going to die during this job because I'm not going to be able to afford to retire. So you're stuck with me. Jenna Lisa Jones is another Epstein survivor. She is now talking to the crowd in D.C.
In that house. This guy was so rich and had so many pictures with so many famous people, and no one would have ever believed me if I told them. I want to thank Congressman Rowe and Congressman Thomas Massey for having me here today. It was really hard for me to find my voice and to become strong enough to speak about my abuse. I didn't come forward until 2019, and even then, it was like I was afraid of a ghost. I know that I was just a little kid, but sometimes I still feel like it is my fault that this happened.
Oh, that's just horrible. That's Jenna Lisa Jones. If you have not yet watched the 2 documentaries on Netflix about Jeffrey, there are 2 separate ones. One about Jeffrey Epstein and one about Ghislaine Maxwell. It's a difficult watch, but I recommend you do it just so you can see exactly how dastardly these 2 people were and the stories there. And she just mentioned, if you went into Epstein's place in West Palm or on Epstein Island or his place in New York, he had pictures of him and famous people, powerful people all over. And in those documentaries, you hear from the girls that were like, well, what am I going to do? Like, this guy's the most well-connected man around. No one's going to believe me. I can't, report him because he'll just have, he has too many political connections. And that went on for decades. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough watch, but if you get a chance, I would watch it really brings to light how bad Maxwell and Epstein were. But again, we'll continue to monitor what's going on Capitol Hill, and we'll see what the impact is. We'll monitor social media, see if President Trump, if these stories move him at all, and we do get more transparency on the Epstein files. One other story I want to touch upon quickly, Deborah. We talked about, this is an interesting story. We're in now the age of mergers. We talked about Keurig Dr. Pepper buying Peet's Coffee the other day. By the way, I did not mean to offend the Peet's Coffee fans out there. I kind of dismissed it as going, it's Peet's, They were like, this is the best coffee. Like, get out of my DMs. I didn't mean to offend you. I've only had it once or twice. I'm sure it's a great coffee. But we're seeing more and more mergers now. The latest merger, Dick's Sporting Goods and Foot Locker. I would imagine 2 of the bigger sports apparel and stuff companies around. They are coming together. Who's buying who? Is Dick's buying Foot Locker?
It says Dick's Sporting Goods plans to merge with Foot Locker. It doesn't necessarily say that one is buying the other, but the shareholders have approved the merger. So a lot of people are concerned, thinking, well, this is just going to make prices go up even more since there's one less competitor in the field, because this merger will represent about 15% of the sporting goods market, combining all of the Foot Lockers. There's about 2,700, and then Dick's Sporting Goods have about 850.
How many? So 850 Dick's. And how many Foot Lockers?
$2,700.
2,000. And now I wonder, I mean, in light of what we saw with Cracker Barrel, are they going to keep their names, right? Will they still be known as Foot Locker and Dick's Sporting Goods? Or are they going to merge and be like Foot Dick's Locker or something and going to get people get mad? Now, I buy sneakers once every 5 years, and the sneakers I'm wearing now, I bought at the Nike company store in Portland. Vin, you've got a solid shoe game. Is Foot Locker still a player in the shoe game?
I believe it is, yes. I go to Foot Locker pretty often, every time I hit the mall.
Every time you hit the mall.
Every time I hit the mall.
Like 4 days a week. Vinny's at the mall. I haven't been to a Foot Locker in, I can't tell you. Because I don't go to the malls anymore. But I have been to Dick's Sporting Goods. When I went to the fantasy baseball camp, I had to get outfitted in new gear. And impressive. I bought cleats there, baseball cleats at Dick's.
Oh, for the camp?
Like spikes. Yeah.
When you went to the camp?
Yeah, when I went to the camp, and I bought a bat and a bag and all this stuff. It was refreshing to go. You know, I'm no longer a Division I athlete, obviously, but back in the day, I'd go to the sport. I used to buy my clothes at like back to school shopping
at the sporting goods store.
I would go to the local Sports Palace, it was called, on East Main Street in Torrington, and I would buy baseball T-shirts. That was my back to school. That's how I dressed, and it took me deep into my college years to be like, why can't I get a date? Oh, I'm wearing T-shirts with Don Mattingly on them. You know, it's not appealing. And then I discovered, I got to dress nicer to increase my social standing. But all right, big merger there, Dick's and Foot Locker.
Wait,
what? Yes, sir.
I'm looking up who bought who. It says Dick's bought Foot Locker.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right? Yeah, for $2.4 billion.
But word of caution, by the way. And I know this firsthand. If you're looking for Dick's Sporting Goods, be careful with the website. So my ex was at first day at a new job and wanted to buy, I don't know, a rain jacket or something, and thought she was going to Dick's Sporting Goods website. And she just blank.com. I'm not going to say it. And apparently it's a malware site. And first day on the new job, it froze up her computer, and like IT was alerted. Like, what do we?
Was she flagged for deviant porn?
Yeah, exactly. So then she got a job at FEMA and kept that for 20 years. But I mean, a lot of people shop online at work, right? It's a thing. You go online. Let's see if you're trying to buy sporting goods from Dick's. Be very careful on the website.
How about you just Google it and then go to the website there?
Yeah, that's if you learned anything today, is be careful when you're trying to get to Dick's Sporting Goods website. It's I don't even know what it is, but it's not the simple thing that you think it might be. That's a bad site. You will get in trouble. All right, I'm digging myself a big hole. Let's get out of it with a check of traffic. At 11:17 on the Mark Arum Show, let's say hello and good morning to Alex Williams.
Hey, good morning, Mark. Watching a jam into Midtown right now. Atlanta Fire Rescue just pulled up to this crash, 85 southbound before 17th Street. They're blocking 2 left lanes. That's stacking up the right already back toward Georgia 400. Take 85 south, take Peachtree Street or Piedmont to avoid I-85 south. Those are your alternates there. On the south side, crash still impacting the right lane by the airport, 285 eastbound, the outer loop past Riverdale Road, exit 60, slowing the ride through the airport tunnels. And a crash on 75 south in Bartow County before the Alatoona Gateway, south of Old Alatoona Road. At least 1 lane block there. That's going to stack up that ride. Think about Highway 41 to use to avoid that. Traffic brought to you by the International Hot Rod Association. International Hot Rod Association and Durana Hybrid. Reigniting racing and skilled trades, mentorship, education, and legacy. Get your tickets now at ihra.com. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
It pays to have the WSB radio app. Download it today and get ready for the Blitz.
That's awesome. The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz. 5 chances every weekday to win $1,000. The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Your next chance to win is at 12 p.m.
That's amazing.
From 95.5 WSB.
Download the WSB radio app now.
Atlanta DIY landlords, listen up. If you're exhausted from managing your rental properties all by yourself, my friends at Renters Warehouse Atlanta offering a 90-day test drive. Hire Renters Warehouse to manage your rental property for a low flat monthly fee as low as $115. If you're not satisfied at any time in the first 3 months, you can fire them. Get your management fees back. What do you get for that low flat monthly fee? A dedicated property management team, maintenance coordination, move in and move out property condition reports, advanced tenant screening with a 9-month tenant warranty, professional photography and videography, lease renewal processing and negotiations, online rent collection, monthly owner cash flow statements, and more. Renters Warehouse, so confident you'll love their service, they want an addition for your business. Choice is yours. Keep DIYing or see how Renters Warehouse can make your life easier. Start your 90-day test drive today. Go to rwatlanta.com or call 404-662-2322, 404-662-2322.
This is Scott Slade with how a short phone call can change your life for the better. Take a few minutes and call MyLend and see if there's a way to put money in your pocket every month. There's so many options with MyLend. Here's an example. One of my friends at MyLend is looking at a reverse mortgage for his mom, who's 82. She's currently in a house that's paid for and too much to take care of by herself. So they're considering a reverse mortgage by selling her current house, then buying a smaller one by only putting 50% down and then putting the other 50% in her bank account, essentially trading homes and putting a couple of $100,000 in her pocket. If you or your parents have a similar situation, call MyLend, where the guys and gals there will put together a plan that's just right for you with no obligation. Call 770-817-2000. That's 770-817-2000. Online, it's mylend.com. Spell it M-I-L-E-N-D. NMLS and Georgia Residential Mortgage License C148769, located at 8995 West Side Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. MyLand is an equal housing lender.
Hey, this is Robbie with Ben Hill Renovations, the preferred deck experts heard on the Home Fix-It Show. We're well known for our superior craftsmanship for decks and outdoor living spaces. And at Ben Hill Renovations, we provide that same attention to detail when it comes to roofing, siding, windows, and doors. So get your project started today and call to schedule a free estimate. Or you can stop by our showroom in Douglasville. Online at bhrenovations.com. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As director of diamond sourcing, it's my job to make sure every single diamond is worthy of a Shane Company engagement ring. Our team travels the world to see diamonds in person and handpick each one. That type of dedication only comes from working for a company that's been a family business since 1929. No matter your budget, your diamond is guaranteed to be the most beautiful because a friend wants you to pick from only the best. Drop by your store or shaneco.com and see for yourself. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Whether it's a slip that ends in a slip disc, a trick knee that's holding you back, or shoulder pain hurting your game, you can count on Northside Hospital Orthopedics. With leading care in Georgia at convenient locations all across the state, we're here to get you back on your feet, no matter what comes your way. Because Georgia moves us, and we keep Georgia moving. Find a provider near you at northside.com/ortho. That's northside.com/ORTHO.
Spring is in the air, and a lot of us are looking at things to spruce up our homes, from tweaking or landscaping, a little bit of paint. But how's your roof looking? This is Scott Slade. A new roof can dramatically improve the look of your home. Lots of uncertainties in the economy right now, so my roofer, FGA Roofing, has put together an offer you should consider. They call it the 000 plan. 0 down payment, 0 interest for 12 months, and 0 monthly payments for 12 months. With FGA Roofing, you can get a quote in just a few days and your roof installed in just a couple of weeks. And you can wait to pay until it fits your timeline. FGA Roofing specializes in slate, tile, wood shake, cedar roofs, as well as architectural roofs. The experts at FGA Roofing can lay out all the options for you, whether your roof is aging out or you just want a designer upgrade for your home, or both. FGA Roofing, where you'll get first-rate installation and quality service, always. Just search FGA Roofing to get started with a free quote today. That's FGA Roofing.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. Looking for a more natural way to sleep? Our orthopedic natural mattresses combine our legendary quality with nature's finest materials. We hand build each mattress using renewable materials like cotton, wool, and natural latex, creating a luxury sleep experience that's as good for the planet as it is for you. Visit one of our showrooms to try them out in person, or visit originalmattress.com to learn more. The Original Mattress Factory. Sleep better, naturally.
11:23 on this fast-moving Wednesday. Welcome back. Mark Arum and crew with you till noon. Monitoring the press conference on Capitol Hill right now. Jeffrey Epstein survivors speaking out. We'll continue to monitor that and provide updates throughout the day on 95.5 WSB. Want to talk about a story, though, that popped yesterday, getting some clarification from the White House on what jobs will be eligible for tax-free tips. Covering the story for Bloomberg News, joining us live, Caitlin Riley. Caitlin, good morning. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me.
I'm assuming radio hosts are not eligible for tax-free tips under the new Trump plan.
No, but it looks like podcasters may be.
Really?
So
Okay.
May want to consider a shift in professions.
What are, aside from podcasters, when I think tips, I'm a former waiter at an Italian restaurant. I lived on tips. I'm thinking waiters would be probably at the top of the line, bartenders, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes, we saw a lot of jobs you'd expect to see on the list: waiters, bartenders, dishwashers, food preparers, kind of in another vein, parking and valet attendants, rideshare and delivery drivers, golf caddies, folks working in the salon and beauty industry. So a lot of positions that you would typically associate with tipped workers. And then we got some surprises.
Give me a surprise that we didn't expect on this list.
So definitely digital content creators, which we think, could cover streamers, podcasters, social media influencers. That was one area that we were surprised by. Another unexpected area were some folks who work in sort of home maintenance trade jobs, like electricians and plumbers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so those are some areas that we hadn't necessarily expected to see on the list, but could be big winners depending on how the regs are written and how they adjust their compensation.
Caitlin, when does this go into effect, no tax on tips, and is there an expiration date on it?
Yeah, it's in effect for this year. And so if you're in a job that qualifies, when you go to file your taxes next year, you can deduct from your tax bill up to $25,000 in tipped income. It starts to phase out if you make $150,000 or more, and it'll be in effect this year through the end of 2028. So it basically runs the length of this Trump administration.
Interesting. So when you file in April in 2026, taxes, tips that you made in 2025 will be tax-free up to a certain point, depending on your income level. Do we, we're losing this tax revenue. Do we have any estimations of how much tax revenue we're going to lose now that tips are tax-free for certain individuals?
Yeah, I believe it's $32 billion over 10 years. That was the estimate by the Joint Committee on Taxation. That, of course, did not take into account necessarily the sort of breadth of positions that now qualify for this. So it's possible that could shift, potentially cost a bit more. We don't really have visibility into that just yet. And though the $32 billion estimate is over a decade, we know it'll only be in effect for up through 2028. And so if that's extended, as expiring tax cuts often are, we would expect the cost to increase.
Interesting stuff. Great insight. Caitlin Riley from Bloomberg News. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks so much for having me.
All right. Podcasters, Deborah, are eligible. This show's podcasted on the regular.
Does that mean you're going to do a podcast?
No, I mean, it's posted as a podcast, so that counts. I'm a podcaster. Go ahead and tip me on YouTube. I think you can tip on YouTube. And it's tax-free for you and me. I'll share the wealth with Longoria, Down South Vinny, and Deborah. Very interesting stuff. All right, we're still monitoring the Epstein conference in D.C. When we come back, though, what political movement can we see from these Epstein files? Political analyst Stephen Lawson joins us live next on The Mark Arum Show.
Hi, Hi, I'm Glenn Burns. As a meteorologist for over 40 years, I've seen how weather impacts our homes. That's why I chose windows that withstand our weather extremes and keep my family comfortable. I picked North Georgia replacement windows for my home, and I recommend them for yours. Their Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows are beautiful, and they're energy efficient. Plus, I know my windows will stay tight and true no matter the forecast.
Infinity from Marvin, replacement windows, yeah!
Scott Slade here. Are you a European car enthusiast and interested in networking with like-minded car owners? My preferred European car service center, Wolfpen, is celebrating their one-year anniversary this Saturday with a car show at their state-of-the-art facility. Come network with other car owners from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. in Roswell. There will be food trucks, coffee, and, of course, some extraordinary cars. All cars are welcome. 670 Howes Way in Roswell. Go to wolfpan.com for directions. See you Saturday.
Man's best friend, loyal, trustworthy, dependable. Aw, that's Rufus, the bulldog, the chief barking officer for Findlay Roofing, the roof guys. Hey, it's Dave Baker. For over 30 years, Findlay Roofing's been your roof's best friend. They're the perfect match for your roof. Findlay is loyal with a lifetime warranty, trustworthy with upfront pricing, and dependable with the highest quality work. When you're not seeing Rufus on Findlay Roofing trucks, billboards, and TV commercials, he loves playing games like Fetch and Tug of War. But Rufus knows that if you play games with your roof, you'll lose every time. You'll always win with Findlay. They're the extra effort experts, making sure you have a remarkable roof replacement experience. When it comes to your roof, think of Rufus and Findlay first. 0% financing available. Schedule your free roof analysis, no obligation, no charge at FindlayRoofing.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by Rocco's European Garage. This is new this half hour. A vote to unionize those who get us to our gates at Atlanta's big airport.
About 90 workers who operate and maintain the plane train inside Hartsfield-Jackson Airport have voted to unionize. The Alstom workers are responsible for the train, which carries about 250,000 passengers daily through the Atlanta airport. Alstom's Stacy Levine says the company supports the move.
We congratulate our employees at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport on the decision to join IAM TCU.
Workers say they want a stronger voice on the job. Lisa Nicholas, 95.5 WSB.
All right, so your weather for today. It's going to be partly cloudy and afternoon highs around 84. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says there is a chance of an isolated rain shower today. The Decatur Commission is moving ahead with speed limit reductions on some roadways within the city limits.
Speed limit changes are coming to sections of state routes within the city of Decatur, including major arteries like Scott Boulevard, Claremont Road, Candler Street, College Avenue, and Commerce Drive. The 5-mile-per-hour reductions will have several benefits, according to Kara Scherer with Public Works.
Reducing stopping distances, improving driver reaction times, and increasing the survivability of crashes.
The move is in support of the Decatur Safe Streets Safety Action Plan. The city will now work with GDOT to make technology and signage updates to reflect the new speed limits. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
In Smyrna, a body was found inside an apartment building following a fire. This was at the Bella 810 Apartments off Windy Hill Road, just west of Atlanta Road. A man's body found inside. Fire investigators calling it suspicious. They're looking into the cause of the death of that victim and what caused the fire. Check back for updates. Dozens of Jeffrey Epstein sexual abuse victims speaking out today in Washington. This survivor calling on Congress to take action regarding releasing documents related to the case.
This is about ending secrecy wherever abuse of power takes root. But transparency alone is not enough. Survivors need protection, resources, and legal support.
And this comes as the first batch of documents related to the late sex offender have been released. The House Oversight and Government Reform Committee gave the okay for the 33,000 pages of information to go public. The documents include video from the area outside of Jeffrey Epstein's jail cell in New York City prior to him committing suicide in 2019. People in Hawaii are being urged to keep up with the weather forecast as Hurricane Kiko continues to get stronger in the Pacific Ocean. That's well east of the islands. Drew Davis is a meteorologist in Honolulu.
We are now tracking Category 2 Hurricane Kiko out in the eastern Pacific Ocean. This storm is expected to move close to the island chain throughout the middle of next week.
And Kiko is forecast to soon strengthen into a major Category 3 hurricane. Amazon says Prime members can no longer share free shipping benefits. In an update to on the customer service section of the website, Amazon saying that it will eliminate the sharing come October 1st, and they're encouraging users outside the household of the account holder to sign up for their own Prime subscription. The markets, the Dow right now down 161 at 45,134. NASDAQ is up almost a full percent, and the S&P is also in positive territory. Alex Williams joining us now from the WSB 24-hour Traffic Center. He has a look at your roads.
And got some better news heading into Midtown, Sabrina. The crash on I-85 southbound before 17th Street, right near the ramps to 75 North. They cleared it, had to hold all lanes to do so, but everything's back open, so delays from Georgia 400 should start to improve. It's also jammed up the Beaufort Spring connector, leaving Sidney Marcus Boulevard. Crash in Bartow County looks to have cleared up as well. 75 southbound below Old Allatoona Road, exit 283. Still slow out of Emerson, but that as well should start to improve. And you got left lane construction, Highway 78 westbound, right around East Park Place, causing a few brake lights. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. A mix of sun and clouds today. An isolated rain shower can't be ruled out. High 84. Lows tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, partly to mostly cloudy with scattered rain showers. High 86. Drying out and heating up on Friday. High 91.
78 degrees in Woodstock. It's 78 in Vinings. Covington has 77 degrees. We'll have more news at noon. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
The news of the day through the eyes of Eric Von Hessler.
I've listened to many arguments, and there are good arguments to say that we shouldn't. I'm just saying.
If it's on your mind, it's on his.
This is the only way to do it. Some people are going to lose their job, and then they're going to be put back in the job.
Eric Von Hessler, today at 3.
It's about you. You're being celebrated.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
This is a crime that, by our Justice Department's own admission, has 1,000 victims. 1,000 victims. Do you know 1,000 people?
That's Jeffrey Epstein survivor Liz Stein. The political impact of the Epstein files. Straight ahead on the Mark Arum Show.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 6 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or Canada Dry. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Attention men, does ED and PE have you down? Well, great news. Choice Men's Health has the latest breakthrough treatments that can get you up and running. Meet the specialist who is dedicated to helping you perform better than ever in the bedroom.
Hi, I'm Dr. Katz, Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Our custom treatment plans have a 98% success rate at improving ED and PE on your very first visit, even if Viagra and Cialis have failed. Regardless of your age and medical history, we are here and dedicated to help you regain your love life.
Don't wait. Call Choice Men's Health now. We are so confident we can help. For a limited time, we're offering to cover your first treatment for free. Call 404-400-1170. Call now to claim your free treatment. 404-400-1170. Results guaranteed on your first visit or it's free. 404-400-1170. Choice Men's Health, the only choice for your health.
It's happening, guys. Your hair's thinning, the crown's disappearing. Hair loss might have you feeling you've lost your identity. It's Mark Arum here. Thankfully, there's Advanced Hair Simple One-Day Treatment. You decide how much, how thick, and where. It's your own natural hair that begins regrowing the very next day, and it's guaranteed to grow for life. I've seen Advanced Hair's incredible results with my own eyes. Get your free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
2 similar homes for sale, same neighborhood, but the one with the Orchard sign sold for more. Why? Well, Orchard's local agents know what buyers want, make smart upgrades, and handle it all. Get your free home valuation at Orchard.com.
11:37 on this beautiful Wednesday morning. And welcome back, friends. Mark Arum and crew with you till noon. 30 minutes from now, I will give you a keyword in the 5K day bonus blitz. Another chance for you in $1,000. But you don't have to wait 30 minutes to win an amazing prize pack to give away right now, Deborah Green.
Yeah, tickets to see Jim Gaffigan at Atlanta Symphony Hall on September 12th.
You can celebrate my wedding anniversary with your loved one. Let's do 10th caller, Vin. 10th caller to 404-872-0750. 10th caller to 404-872-0750 wins a pair of tickets to see Jim Gaffigan September 12th at Atlanta Symphony Hall. Getting more audio from the press conference in Washington, D.C. right now. This is Sky Roberts, brother of one of Jeffrey Epstein's victims, Virginia Giuffre. I believe I'm mispronouncing her name, but she's the survivor that took her own life back in April.
Virginia fought for truth. She fought to expose a system that allowed the wealthy, the connected, and the powerful to exploit and abuse girls and young women without consequence.
Some really powerful stuff there. And we heard a powerful statement from Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene before the victims took the stage. She was joined by a handful of Republicans and Democrats on the stage. So looks like bipartisan support, at least on the surface, for releasing these Epstein files. Joining us live for the political angle, political analyst Stephen Lawson. Good morning, my friend.
Hey, good morning, Mark.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, obviously a loyal supporter of President Trump, but maybe a fork in the road in their relationship as he does not want the files released. But she was really, really forceful, saying we need complete transparency on this.
Yeah, look, and it's something that you and I have talked about on the show for a while, this notion of transparency. And I think that the House is really forcing the hand, right, about releasing these files, 33,000 documents. I mean, that is a massive trove. So I think, look, I think that is going to be welcome news to some. I think that will potentially bring some closure, not just to these victims. I mean, these terrible tragedies, but their families. But it's also going to bring renewed focus and scrutiny on this issue. It's going to bring more questions. That's so much documents, so much information that it's going to beget more questions. And I think in the days ahead, it's going to be really interesting to see what all is in those documents. It's going to take some time, but I think that there's going to be a lot of new revelations, and it's going to be very interesting to see how does President Trump politically navigate as these files come out.
Yeah, we've heard behind the scenes that President Trump kind of put some pressure on Republican congressmen to not sign on to the Thomas Massie effort, but we have Marjorie Taylor Greene on board. We have Nancy Mace on board, Lauren Boebert on board. Seems like, Republican female congressmen are more apt to sign on to this to get more documents, videos, et cetera, released.
Yeah, and that's a really good point. It's a really interesting dynamic. You obviously mentioned those female congresswomen. And we saw the video of Nancy Mace leaving the closed-door hearing last night in tears, right? We very rarely see that on Capitol Hill, someone being brought to tears after a meeting. I think there's going to be, you've heard the victims say there's going to be damning revelations in these files. And I think the question that, right, we obviously suspect that there are people with powerful roles, people of influence who were potentially at least aware of what was going on. I think the biggest question is, who are those people, right? And what did they know and when did they know it? And I think that dynamic is going to be, it's going to be, very interesting to watch this administration navigate that. I think the president has done a good job to this point. I think he is right in kind of how he's handled, but at the same time, you've got the House that's really bent on releasing all of these files. So it's going to be very interesting to watch.
Yeah, I offered this advice, not that he needs my advice, to President Trump earlier in the show. He keeps calling this the Epstein hoax, but we're hearing from these victims, like the dastardly deeds that Epstein and Maxwell did, they're real. That's not a hoax. I think he needs to be careful using that hoax word. people might, miscalculate that he's denying that Epstein did anything bad. So I think verbiage is very, very important there. Political analyst Stephen Lawson joining us live here on the Mark Arum Show. Since we last spoke, my friend, Governor Brian Kemp laid out a pretty sizable endorsement. What was the endorsement, and how is it going to shake up the race?
Yeah, absolutely. Over the weekend, Governor Kemp made official what we knew for a while was coming, right, Mark? His endorsement of Derek Dooley, his longtime friend in the U.S. Senate race to challenge Jon Ossoff. Again, this is the Republican primary for that U.S. Senate seat. We have two congressmen currently in, Representative Buddy Carter from the coast and Representative Mike Collins from the Athens area. So obviously this is a big endorsement, right? We know that Governor Kemp's political machine, his power, his weight means a lot. His image, his favorability in this state is really off the charts. He is the most popular Republican in this state. So what he says and who he supports matters. The biggest question, though, the biggest endorsement arguably in Republican politics right now is that of President Trump's. He has not weighed in yet on this race. That is the next phase and the next chapter of this race that we are entering. What does President Trump do? Does he get behind one of these congressmen? Does he get behind Derek Dooley eventually? Or does he sit back and wait it out? Right now, I would say the dynamics of the race probably favor Congressman Mike Collins. He sponsored the Laken Riley Act. He has been a supporter of President Trump from day one. But I think the question is, does the president ultimately get involved, or does he kind of sit out, let it play out, and let the governor and Derek Dooley make their case?
Yeah, my initial reaction with the Kemp-Dooley endorsement was the timing of it, first to market. Like he got his endorsement out there before President Trump got his endorsement out there. Might that, push President Trump to the sidelines and not endorse yet, for the primary? I'm assuming Mike Collins expected the Trump endorsement at some point. Does this maybe prolong that endorsement coming from President Trump?
It certainly could. I think the timing was obviously very calculated with Governor Kemp stepping in and endorsing Derek Dooley. Again, there had been, lots of speculation that was going to occur. But yeah, I think that's definitely a possibility for the president to see the governor's endorsement and potentially wait on the sidelines. I think, again, as we've talked about, Mark, the big next critical moment will be that September 30th fundraising deadline on the federal level. Obviously, we have 4 quarters. That will be the end of quarter 3, and you will have basically Buddy Carter, Mike Collins, and Derek Dooley all showing numbers and reporting numbers on how much money they raised. That will be a key indicator to the White House, to folks in Washington, D.C., about which of these candidates has the financial resources to go the distance and to win. And that's certainly going to be something to watch.
Final question for you, Stephen. I'm about to win $1 billion in Powerball. I'm not sure if I get taxed by the state, if that's considered income or not. Maybe I wait until I cash in the $1 billion ticket until Georgia is a state income tax-free land?
Yeah, no, listen, I think go ahead and take the $1 billion, whether now or later. I don't think you need to wait on that. But yeah, look, really interesting conversation going on right now under the Gold Dome. The Senate, in particular, Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones, has made eliminating the state income tax one of his core tenets of his campaign for governor. Obviously, Georgia is very dependent on that state income tax, but at the same time, Governor Kemp and the General Assembly have accelerated that cut to the state income tax. So we are now right at 5%, whereas it was over 6% just a few years ago. I think the question is, how do you backfill that money to the state? There's a number of competing theories to that, whether or not you're able to completely eliminate it. But at the same time, the House of Representatives potentially may look at property tax relief, another really huge cost of living problem that many people are experiencing. Mark, you and I both recently got our assessments, as did everyone else. Even though, local governments are holding the line on the millage rate because of property values, people are getting squeezed on that issue right now. I think that's going to be something that the House of Representatives looks at. Can we provide some property tax relief? So it could be really a 2-for-1, a both and scenario where you have the Senate really potentially looking at the state income tax cut, but you've got the House looking at the property tax cut. And I think Georgia voters are going to benefit from looking at both of those things.
Big local story worth monitoring. Political analyst Stephen Lawson. You can find his outfit at Dentons.com. Stephen, as always, a pleasure, my friend.
Great to be with you, sir. Have a great week.
Go. You as well. Congrats to Meredith in Monroe, Georgia. She won a pair of tickets to see Jim Gaffigan. You could be a winner. I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K Day bonus splits. Next keyword right after the noon news on 95.5 WSB. Got to get you to noon, though. First, it's been a rough one on the roadways. Live with the latest, it's Alex Williams.
And the trend continues, Mark. You're jammed up on the west side outer loop, 285 southbound, leaving South Cobb Drive down toward I-20, where they're intermittently doing some traffic pacing for some blasting construction work there at the 285 I-20 interchange. Lanes opening back up, but still slow. Travel advisory in Bartow County. Crash, several lanes blocked, 75 south past Old Allatoona Road, exit 283, Highway 41, a good alternate there. And just found a new crash in McDonough, 75 northbound, Highway 2081, exit 218. Right lane is knocked out there. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
When traffic
no
hits,
traffic getting through in either direction.
The Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
Even the bridge over 75 is being held.
Your source for Atlanta's traffic.
Traffic out of Spaghetti Junction along 285 westbound and a crash on Peachtree Boulevard, 141 southbound before 285.
Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Scott Slade here. Are you a European car enthusiast and interested in networking with like-minded car owners? My preferred European car service center, Wolfpin, is celebrating their 1-year anniversary this Saturday with a car show at their state-of-the-art facility. Come network with other car owners from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. in Roswell. There will be food trucks, coffee, and, of course, some extraordinary cars. All cars are welcome. 670 Howes Way in Roswell. Go to wolfpan.com for directions. See you Saturday.
Hi, it's Tim Andrews from the Von Hessler Doctrine for my roofer, FGA Roofing. Are you considering a new roof but not sure when you'll be able to get it into the budget? Spring is in the air, and our houses and our landscapes are getting manicured. But how is your roof looking? You know, a new roof can dramatically improve the look of your house. And I know, there are a lot of uncertainties in the economy right now. So, FGA Roofing has put together an offer you should consider. The 000 plan. 0 down payment, 0 interest for 12 months, and 0 monthly payments for 12 months. With FGA Roofing, you can get a quote in just a few days and your roof installed in just a couple of weeks. And the best part is you can wait and pay until it fits your timeline. FGA Roofing specializes in slate, tile, wood shake, cedar, and architectural roofs. Don't forget, it's the 000 plan. Hard to beat that, right? From FGA Roofing, where you'll get first-rate installation and quality service. Search FGA Roofing for a free quote today.
Having trouble getting in to see the doctor? Wait no longer. All Care is here. All Care is expert immediate care and primary care under a single roof, offering convenience and continuity for your healthcare needs at 15 Atlanta area locations. Fully staffed, conveniently located, and ready for you when you need us. Same-day appointments available and walk-ins welcomed. Simply schedule an appointment at allcare-ga.com. No more waiting days or months to see the doctor. All Care is here, a proud member of the Piedmont Integrated Network Clinic. Now open at Halcyon in Alpharetta.
If you've ever organized your closet only to have it look like a bomb went off in there 1 month later, then it's time to call Artisan Custom Closets. Reach-in closets, walk-in closets, pantry spaces, garages. With a custom spacious closet from Artisan, you'll never have to deal with all that clutter again. All your stuff neatly organized and designed to stay that way. Call the Closet Bomb Squad, Artisan Custom Closets. They'll diffuse your clutter and make it safe to enter your closet again. ArtisanCustomClosets.com.
At Jape Services, family isn't just a slogan, it's how we do business. Our family has been helping homeowners with their heating and cooling since 1978.
And now, we're riding along just like our dad did when he was 14.
And today, we're here to help your family stay cool and comfortable. If your AC is struggling, call Jape Services for honest pricing expert heating and cooling repair or replacement.
Decades of experience, family-run values, service you can trust.
Let our family take care of your family.
Jabe Services.
Just like your car, your septic system needs regular maintenance. Hi, I'm Shannon, the owner of Scorpion Septic. If you're seeing bubbles in your toilet, pooling in your yard, slow draining, or your toilet won't flush, you need Scorpion Septic.
Take the sting out of septic service with Scorpion Septic, where there is never a pump out charge with your repair. Call for more information. ScorpionSepticServices.com.
ScorpionSepticServices.com. It's happening, guys. Your hair's thinning, the crown's disappearing. Hair loss might have you feeling you've lost your identity. It's Mark Arum here. Thankfully, there's Advanced Hair Simple One-Day Treatment. You decide how much, how thick, and where. It's your own natural hair that begins regrowing the very next day, and it's guaranteed to grow for life. I've seen Advanced Hair's incredible results with my own eyes. Get your free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're a different kind of wireless company dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Because let's face it, our needs are different. Big wireless unlimited plans are designed for 20-somethings, not us. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on one thing, bringing you affordable, reliable rate plans that suit your needs, not ours. How do we do that? We start by using the same towers as the big guys, the exact same towers. We then create rate plans designed for your usage. The fact is, we can offer you an unlimited plan with the same network quality for less because we understand how you use wireless services. Our plans start at just $20 a month. And forget trying to chat with robots. You'll get 100% US-based award-winning customer service when you need help. Come find out how wireless should be and join the millions who've made the switch.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Oh, hey, hi.
How come you never called me?
Well, funny story. Long story. Tell you later.
That's actor Charlie Sheen in 2.5 Men. Mr. Sheen turned 60 years old today. You might remember, Deborah, he kind of lost his mind for a little bit and has been off the radar. But I just went looking. That dude has had a remarkable acting career. I mean, not just like above average. It's remarkable. 2.5 Men and Spin City, or whatever his other sitcom was. But the movies, Platoon, Young Guns, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Major League, Hot Shots Part 2, Wall Street. And perhaps my favorite Charlie Sheen movie, and I'm giving Vinny some homework, Men at Work, Vinny. Men
I love that movie.
Isn't that such a good movie?
It's funny.
Yeah. So, Vinny, Men at Work, it's kind of like...
With his brother.
Yeah, with his brother, but a different last name.
Emilio Estevez. It's kind of like when you were in school, you had to do a book report, Vinny. I want a movie report. Next Wednesday. You get a whole week. Men at Work.
Men at Work.
If you can't find it streaming, just go to Blockbuster and rent it. But that's pretty crazy. Charlie Sheen turned 60 years old today. I mean, he did that crazy interview and he kind of lost his mind. And
Tiger's Blood.
Tiger's Blood, yeah. And then nothing. We didn't hear anything from him. But man, that's a hell of a resume. Platoon. That's he was a great actor. Anyway, happy 60th birthday, Charlie.
Longoria's fact of the day.
All right, today is National Bowling League Day. Yeah, bowling originated in ancient Egypt around 3200 BC and was once a religious ritual called Kegel in Germany, where knocking down pins symbolized removing sins. The sport was banned in America for a time to prevent soldiers from neglecting their duties due to gambling. Modern 10-pin bowling with 10 pins was developed to circumvent laws banning 9-pin bowling.
What was the origin date? 300 BC?
3200 BC.
Wow. Raise your hand, Core 4, if you've ever bowled a perfect game, 300. I'm the only one raising their hand.
I took a class in college bowling.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, National Bowling Day. All right, President Trump is talking about the Epstein. Can we dip into CNN for a second here?
And we said we're not going to put up with it anymore. So Venezuela has been one
All
of
right,
the
no,
worst.
I thought he was going to talk about the Epstein. He says the Epstein case is a Democratic hoax still, minutes after numerous survivors say this is not a hoax, the abuse is real. We'll continue to monitor what the victim said and what President Trump has to say and the political impact of that. So a lot of big stories are going to be following throughout the day on WSB Radio.
And now, are you guys ready for the Mark Arum star of the show?
Oh, Longoria made it through on a Whataburger Wednesday fist bump. Vinny aided in the Whataburger Wednesday delivery, so Vinny gets a star of the show. Ali Pecorin from ABC, congressional correspondent. She joined us with trying to prevent a government shutdown. Good stuff from Ali, as always. Adrian Bard from CBS joined us live from Mexico City as Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, visiting with the Mexican president. Tech correspondent Ian Scher on the 30th birthday of eBay. Got to go check my eBay auctions right now and see what's going on. Caitlin Rye from Bloomberg News on the Tax on Tips. Political analyst Stephen Lawson as well. All right, big show tomorrow. We're going to talk to some folks at Georgia Power. Transportation and travel expert Peter Greenberg and actor David Duchovny joining us live tomorrow on the show. Big stuff, big stuff. Social media is active throughout the broadcast at Mark Arum, MarkArum. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back after the new news, give you a keyword in the 5K a day bonus blitz. Stay safe. Have a great Wednesday, Atlanta.
He's leaving on that midnight train to Georgia.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 90